As the podcast that never was, allow us to introduce you to the fifth and never forgotten member of our podcast, Mr. Jonathan Gidney. Long.Live.Gidney, we miss you, we love you. This is for you, our brother.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for tuning into the podcast that never was. This is Metris, your host, one of the many on the platform. Holding it down right here. Also, we got
Take Polo,
Dre,
Friday.
And some of the topics we're going to be touching on today, you already know. Sports, music, and a bunch of things about the culture. So tune in, get ready for some dope content from great minds, and we appreciate the listen. Now let's get to it. So we're going to start off with the top 10 favorite albums from everybody. And I'm going to go with mine, and I put them in order so I can read them now. Number 1, I'm going to go with Young Thug, So Much Fun. Dreamville for the second one, Revenge of the Dreamers 3. Roddy Ricch, Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial as number 3. YB and Corday is number 4 with The Lost Boy. Number 5, Jack Harlow, Confetti. Number 6, Tyler the Creator, Igor. Then 7, Boogie, Everything's for Sale. The Game, Born to Rap. 9, Rap City, Eve. 10, Rick Ross, Port of Miami 2. That's just my list of albums that I ran through and like favorite albums of this past year. No best album list as of right now, just my favorite based off replay value and whatnot. So that's mine.
Yeah, my favorite rap albums of 2019, from 1 to 10, based off of replay value, what I like, lyricism, all that jazz. I got 1 is Wow That's Crazy by Wale. 2 is Born to Rap by The Game. 3 is Rapper Go to the League, 2 Chainz. 4 is Confetti, Jack Harlow. 5 is Everything's for Sale, Boogie. 6 is Dysphoria, Gold Link. 7 is Zoo, Denzel Curry. 8 is Revenge of the Dreamers by Dreamville. 9 is Father of 4, Offset. And 10 is Port of Miami 2 by Rick Ross. So that's basically what I have for 2019. Like I said, based off of replay value, what I thought I could just get into the vibe on an everyday basis. I could probably run through all 10 of those albums on a day-to-day basis all through 2019.
Cool. And Dre, what's your list looking like? Beware of any underground king music, guys.
Well, my top for the year was Game, Born to Rap. 2, Wale, Wow That's Crazy. 3, Benny the Butcher, Plus I Met. 4, Boogie, Everything's for Sale. 5, YG, For Real. 6, Freddie Gibbs, Bandana. 7, Partisan Fontaine, Underrated. 8, Dame Dollar, Big Dollar. 9, Roddy Ricch. What is it, John?
Please excuse me for being antisocial.
Yeah, that shit. That long-ass name for an album. And then 10, The Baby, Kirk. And I pretty much went off just replay value and what I played the most as far as just what I just kept going back to. So that was mine. And I'll tell you what's up.
All right, so I'm the trap guy. So I'm always going to put trap before anything. Number 1 for me was So Much Fun, Thugger. Number 2 was Brandon Banks, Max O'Cream. 3 was Revenge of the Dreamers 3, Dreamville. 4 was The Game, Born to Rap. 5 was Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial, Roddy Ricch. 6, Drip or Drown 2, Gunna. 7, The Lost Boy, YB and Corday. 8, Rap or Go to the League, 2 Chainz. 9 is Port of Miami 2, Rose. 10 is Baby on Baby, The Baby. And that's basically off my vibes and how I felt about those albums and pretty much what I was going through throughout the year. So whatever helped me get in a good mood or send some positivity my way. That's how pretty much I base my album.
So that's it. Just 2019 wrapped up for everybody. What we all thought. Everybody's own opinions, not any consensus as to a group of what we thought was the best album of 2019. So you said you had a question for Dre.
Yeah, I got a question for my boy. My question is, me and you had our 10s are the same person. It's the baby. So why'd you choose Kirk over baby over baby? Baby on baby. I'm sorry.
I listened to Kirk more, and it was better to me. My favorite song out of both is probably on Baby on Baby Don't Carpet Burn.
Carpet Burn. Yeah.
Yeah, that shit hard.
That's the reason why I pretty much chose Baby on Baby over.
That was the almost like the deciding factor. Like, damn, I played that shit probably more than any of the songs on Kirk. Like just going straight to that shit. But I just let the Kirk album just ride more. So that's why I picked him up, because I was just pretty much going just to Carpet Burn, and I wasn't letting the shit ride, like the whole album ride. But with Kirk, I just put that shit at the intro and just let it ride. And then it's short, so you can get a few listens in like pretty quick. You know what I'm saying? I just thought it was better. It was just more hits, really, because that's what I'm saying. That's the type of music he made. It's just like club hits, whatever. So
strip club anthems and stuff like that. Intro was hard on Kirk too, though. Yeah. So
I was hoping to get more of that on the album, but I'm saying eventually I'm sure that'll come. But as far as like where he at right now, he at the peak. So I wouldn't say he at his peak, but he the hottest in the game right now. So that's what he giving us. But I would like to hear more in depth, like behind like with his dad, or just more personal type shit, which he touched on a little bit, but just more like some more content records.
Okay, I got a question for the group. Can we all agree that the baby is the hottest rapper of 2019?
Yes, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
Now my next question goes to me and him.
It could be a debate, but for the sake of the debate, one of them were at their height. One of them are already
all right,
established.
For everybody that's listening, you got to clarify what you're talking about. The baby or who else?
I'm just saying the baby, period. I'm just saying that he period. Like
Okay. I'll clarify that when we get there. Then.
So my question is, I had an album in my top 10. He had an album in his top 10. Y'all two didn't have a baby album in y'all top 10, but he's the hottest rapper. So how can you not?
Being the hottest rapper don't mean you put out the hottest thing of the year. In my opinion, it doesn't. That's how much clout you have and how that carried you throughout the year. But it doesn't mean that you had the hottest album.
Because
of the
Lizzo
year.
might be the hottest female right now.
Hey, exactly.
Nah, I still probably give it to Megan.
I do too.
Yeah,
but
I would give it to Meg.
she could.
That's a close competition right there.
And it shouldn't be. If we talking about just
lyricism, Megan by far, but Lizzo has that clout right now.
Lizzo
clout. Exactly. We don't even know what she do.
Exactly.
But the pop fans and all of them, she got that. That Truth Hurt song that the baby jumped on on the remix.
I listened to it because of him, but
I listened to it. I didn't like it.
And both of them is hot. You know what I'm saying? They were both hot.
Exactly.
Well, they still are, but
to Josh's point, you can't get hot without good music. I don't think.
Yeah, I think he had a solid album. I just can't put him above anybody that I put in my top 10. I really did think about it last night as to because I really, really, really wanted to put Igor in there, but Dre doesn't think it's rap. Me, Meetrus, and Tay think that's that's.
I feel like
it's my honorable mention on there. It's Dre's honorable mention, and you got it on. Tay's honorable mention, and you got it on yours, Meetrus. So, that one was hard for me.
What's on your honorable mention?
I got Igor on my honorable mention, and then I hate to not put him on the list, but the baby's on my honorable mention. Yeah, that's my two honorable mentions.
So that pretty much helps clarify my question, because if you're gonna say somebody the hottest, that means they had a body of work somewhere that should have been in your top 10.
It is, I couldn't put him.
And then you got it.
Port of Miami too over the baby. Like he was on my ass end of my list, but I had to,
Same.
And that may be because of substance. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Like, so the baby, he can rap. He can rap. He can ride that beat.
I needed
like
that
hell.
Ross though. Like that was like the old Ross in a way. So it wasn't pure old Ross because it kind of got a little poppy in there, and the songs wasn't in order the way they
It's
should
the
have been.
oldest you gonna get.
But it's. I mean,
At this point in music.
it was a few songs on.
His last album.
Yeah, that was a few. Yeah.
But for me, it's more of like this. If I go down my list, Thug is probably somebody I listen to before the baby, just because I feel like Thug may be better for. Like, I like Thug's melodies and shit like that better than I would like the baby just rapping on a beat. Right. So it's like Thug and the baby are probably talking about the same type of shit, but it's just the way Thug sound and the way he put songs together. It's like I like that more. Like I feel it more, and it's just like more creative to me than the baby. He can rap and he just be rapping.
Right.
So it's like he rap. He got a melody to his rap and all of that good stuff. But after a certain while, for me, it's just like them songs are for a setting, a specific type of setting for me. And it's just like Kirk, the intro to his album, I play that shit a lot because he talking about some shit in there. And then it's the other songs is just some rapping shit. So it's just like he can rap, but it's just for what I'm listening to and what I'm looking for most of the time. It's just like I'm trying to get through my day and goddamn feel some shit. You know what I mean? And you could feel that, but after that you probably gonna be bobbing and shit. So it's just like club type, you know what I'm saying, type of music. So for me,
Baby on Baby 2.0 pretty much.
Yeah.
yeah. So and I listened to the Baby on Baby probably one time, and you know what I'm saying. It's just his music is good and shit, but for me it's just like once I can kind of get a grasp of where you coming from most of the time, I prefer you to take me somewhere else so I can stay and watch you, you know what I'm saying, just grow into different artists or like do different things with your artistry, if that makes sense.
I'm gonna tell everybody something.
Yeah, give them time.
Me, I'm biased to
'Cause
home, like just anything that got to do with North Carolina, Charlotte, you know.
Understandable.
So it was just like, man, hold on. Okay, we got a rapper now in this area from the 704. So why, you know, the support, I was like, yo, let me just go back and listen. So when he started picking up the buzz, I was actually kind of shocked, to tell you the truth. I was like, whoa, yo, this is really like going. You know, I had been listening at the beginning of 2018.
Yeah.
So
I don't think I got on to probably 2018. Curtis put me on one of his.
Yeah.
Kurt, yeah.
He put me on one of his jumps. He like, you ain't listen to him. I like, yeah, nah. But I did remember from when he did the diaper shit. Like it was all over social media at the time.
Yeah, because
Shalana told me about the diaper shit.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know about it. We went to the 2 Chainz and Gucci concert last year, and she was telling me about it. She was like, I heard about some rapper that was walking around with a damn diaper on, and
South by Southwest,
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. So I didn't hear about it till then, and I still didn't listen to him. Gid mentioned him last year, at the beginning of last year, and I listened to like one song, and I must have caught the wrong song. I didn't like it, and then it was off of some older stuff, and then I went back and listened to him when that last album dropped, and that's about it, man.
I ran through the last album like a couple times, but it's just that same baby feel. You know what I'm saying? After the first song, it go back to that same baby feel, and yeah, it's just.
What you got on your honorable mention? Did you say?
He would be, yeah. If I had to put another album on there or something, it'd probably be Kurt, just because out of what came out, he be rapping at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I can't replace it with something else because most of that shit probably wasn't even better than that. But if I got an honorable mention, because them are literally the 10 I listened to. So if I was to put an honorable mention in, I probably didn't listen to it as much as these 10. But it'd be that, I could say. Yeah. Or honestly, well, we just talking about rap then. Yeah, never mind.
I was like, on mine.
Because Summer Walker shit was fire. But we just talk about rap. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Her shit was hot.
Yeah. My joint, I had Quelle Chris Guns.
Or
Brandon
For
Banks.
Real. Keep going. Go
Brandon
ahead.
Banks. Max O'Cream, Brandon Banks. I always get that mixed up. That sounds like that's his rap name. But that and I guess I I give Tay some love.
What about Schoolboy?
Thank you.
Did Schoolboy make any honorable?
Schoolboy was a disappointing album to me. That was
That was the album he had the chopstick song and shit on. Oh, yeah.
If anything was that's a good segue because as a whole, we can say Chance probably had. We agree that Chance has the worst.
Yeah, we gonna get
album.
to the worst. Yeah, we could flops.
That was a flop for sure. My opinion is because Kanye had his fingers all in it. That's just my opinion, but I see that's my opinion. You keep pushing the album back. You put out some singles that were better than most of the songs you have on your album. That bothers me all in itself. Like I feel like you could have threw that on there
because that would have never fit the way that direction of the album went. Though.
The album was all over the place, bro.
It was all about him loving his wife.
Most of it was, but it was all over the place as far as like the way the songs were set up.
Yeah, but most of it was.
I mean, it was about him in a relationship and him growing as a person, but that's not what we expected after Coloring Book. Like that was just a complete different transition in the opposite spectrum. I feel like that's a kind of one of those Kanye self-reflections, let me tell you about me type things that he got on because of Kanye being a big influence on his album. That's just my opinion. That's why I feel like the album was a flop.
I can agree with it.
I think the only thing Kanye has touched recently that was an actual good album was Pusha T's last album. I think that was a good project. And my argument with that was it was too short, but Dre said that album doesn't have to be 15, 20 songs to be a good album. I like something I can play and listen to for hours. That's just my...
I like shorter albums.
It depends.
Depends on who I'm listening to.
It depends on the quality.
The quality of it.
Because Benny was 3 on mine, and that shit 7 songs.
I mean, I can give you that. I can give you that.
And then Game number 1, that shit 25.
It's 25 songs. Yeah.
I think like as far as the difference with songs, like putting 7 on an album is we do everything pretty fast. Like life is fast nowadays. Yeah. So it's hard to find time most of the time to listen to an album that's an hour or so when you can listen to something for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I think Kirk, daggone, 14 songs, that shit like 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's short. It's a short album. Yeah. It's a short album. I agree with you on that for sure.
We got a lot of songs that just not the length isn't there as far as like individual songs.
I'm still disappointed at Tay for not putting Wale's album in his top 10. Like
so now that we got our 10 out for each, what do you think the 10 best could be?
I mean, it's not up for debate that Born to Rap's on there. I mean, it's either one or two. That's hard up there.
Well, yeah,
if you really want to think about it, I can honestly give. I don't like Thugger. I don't like his music as a whole, but I think that is a top 10 album as a consensus, probably between all of us. That's a good damn album.
What?
So much fun.
So much fun. I mean, as far as like something you could ride to,
and the deluxe was hard.
Deluxe was great.
Deluxe was crazy. I give him that.
It's hard to bad.
Yeah, I had like 4 songs on there that I listened to on repeat.
You mean like the first song, How It Is? Just How It Is. Ooh, diamonds be good. You ain't want to. I just want to.
Just the way he do shit with his voice, like
that's what I'm saying. That's why when it comes to bro.
Like, bro, y'all just don't know when I hear Mannequin Challenge, I'm on some shit. Yeah. Like, I don't know what it do to me. It put this vibe in me like, oh, hi, bro.
Even though he been out for a minute. He been out since when? Like,
who, Thug?
Since like 2011?
He been out for a decade. He been out for a decade. This is probably his decade, honestly.
Yeah.
His first decade. Because he is an influencer in this decade.
In this decade.
By far. Like, yes.
He definitely like getting better as time, like as far as like album.
And I feel like he getting more poise in it. Just taking longer, just putting out better quality. Not a lot of, you know what I'm saying, just throwing out a bunch of stuff like they used to be.
That's all about it. He about to drop. He dropping this month.
Well, shit.
He's supposed to. He said January, February.
Cool.
So, I guess we're gonna get it back to, was it December when he dropped?
Well, Deluxe dropped in December, but So Much Fun dropped in what, May?
May, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so let's get the 10. Let's get what 10 you think is the best? Let's just get the 10 out there first. Let's see if we can agree on that.
See, if we do this, we can't do this in a particular order. I think we need to go 5. I do agree with him. Okay. I think we need to go 5.
All right.
The game's on there for sure because I think that was something that the majority of, and we're gonna base this off of the majority of what people have, and then like we can debate what we really think should be on there and shouldn't be on there. Yeah. But the game definitely was on basically everybody's list. Port of Miami, you think that was on there?
That was on what?
It wasn't nobody top 5.
It wasn't anybody's top 5, but you had it on yours.
No.
You didn't have it on yours? You have it on yours?
Nah, I don't think it's going to make top 5.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to make top 5.
Honestly.
I went back and listened to it, and it like.
I didn't like the order of the songs. I liked the song.
Yeah, that
but
might
I
have
didn't
been
like
what
the order
it
of
was.
the
The
songs.
track listing was kind of weird.
Yeah, that's something that he never fails.
And you can't. I don't like the way he started it.
Yeah.
Of course, like I'm not.
I always started
Act the fool.
Act
It was
the Fool,
cool, but
man.
What's the? I only count that as an intro. I go to what is the whatever that junk called, but yeah.
Well, we had
nobody's favorite.
Is that the first, second
The
song?
second song, yeah, it was Gunplay.
So another consensus we had was Boogie, Everything's for Sale. That's a consensus we had.
Yeah.
So that's definitely on the top 5. Man, Tay didn't have.
Hold on, I didn't have Boogie. And
Well, I'm saying like Meechers had it, I had it, Dre
y'all
had it.
had it. But
That's what I'm saying, consensus.
You didn't have him in your top 10?
Nah,
No,
I
you
didn't.
haven't.
And the reason why I didn't have it is because it came out in January, and I pretty much like forgot it. I just went back and listened to the whole thing last night.
That shit, bro.
So I was
that
like,
shit put you in
whoa.
a mood though. So
It really does. Like,
It does.
like I love Soho. I love No Warning. Like
Time.
Who's Fault, Skydive. I mean
Yeah.
Skydive too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I love it. You know what I'm saying? But it was just like
LOL, shake my head.
exactly. I had to go
he just
back.
talking about some real shit.
Right.
At the end of the day, he real relatable.
Real,
And he can rap and sing. So
Yeah, he can rap and sing.
Wordplay
yeah.
crazy.
Yes.
Wordplay is crazy. That's something we can agree on.
So Wale,
I have it. That's Dre has it at number 2. I got it at number 1. Tay don't have it on his list,
I don't either.
and you don't either. But as far as like classic Wale albums, that's not. It's a classic Wale album. It's not his best work.
What? Go ahead.
Cause when I listen to it, bro, I don't know.
It's wild.
It's
At the end of
cool.
the day, for me, bro,
It's
like,
cool.
I feel
it's
like he.
just wild.
I feel like he
And
needed that
and I
album.
don't know why I'm like that, but that's just me.
It's
Like,
like
but
his
now that I
most-
listen to it more, I'm starting to stay on it a
It's
little
his
bit.
most-
Like
it's
as
his
it
most
shuffles.
personable album.
It's a personal
Yeah,
album.
as it shuffles through my playlist of other songs, I'm starting to like the songs. But as a whole, I didn't.
You got
I
it.
thought it was just too much. Like just I don't know. It was. I don't want to say too black because it wasn't really
who he
black.
is.
That's who he is.
And,
He's
and
definitely
I know,
black.
and he's a
All
poet,
his
but
EPs.
sometimes his
And I-
wordplay is too damn much as a poet to me sometimes.
And
Like,
I agree with Dre.
average listeners ain't gonna really get most of the shit he be talking about. And I'm not no average listener, but even I be like, bro, that's a reach, nigga. Like, just sometimes, but that's just me.
And I think the only song on that entire album, I do agree with Dre that the song that didn't fit was Routine. I think that's the only song that didn't fit
Which
on the
one was
album.
that with?
That's the one
Was
with
Meek Mill and
Meek Mill
Rick
and Ross.
Ross?
I think
Chasing
yeah.
the radio
Yeah.
play.
that should have been on like
that
the,
one I was
the
rating
tail end of the
highbrow.
album, or maybe at the beginning, one of the two. But besides that,
But I got a couple songs on there. That song with
Black.
yeah, that song with Black, the song with
Yeah.
Bryson,
Yeah,
the
they
song with
say-
Ari. He got a song with Ari and who else?
Boogie.
That's the
Boogie,
song.
yeah.
I like that song. And the intro was like it's just like as I listen, it's a smooth album, but together I just couldn't. I don't know why, but I just was like
That shit flows.
Oh.
It's a smooth album.
it's a small album. My favorite.
I got it downloaded.
lyrically,
Like,
it
I
probably
ain't gonna
is
say
top
it's-
five.
it's
I-
not
like,
bad.
Yeah.
Love Me Nina was my favorite song on that whole album.
and I fuck with that shit too, and just the story behind it, knowing it, I like it even better now. So it's just cool. Like yeah,
Shout out a lot of yeah.
so that's in here top 5.
But I have to say it. Revenge of the Dreamers 3 has been in top 5. That's something we have.
Oh yeah, it got to be.
We got on there as probably a consensus too.
I wasn't in my top 10.
Yeah, I'm saying, but like 3.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good look, dude.
Yeah, I liked it though.
Yeah.
Did you guys give Zoo a chance? Denzel Curry.
I don't
I
listen to
got
him
like
like that.
one song. On it.
I didn't either, but like my friend Kelvin, he sent me the link,
Jordan
and
sent
I
it to me, and I never listened.
I
to
played it
Yeah.
while I was in the gym one day, and I was like, God dang, this dude is really like he's flowing, man. It's
does
definitely
he-
got that down south like
He a Florida
South Florida dude, and that's what he's rapping about, just where he's from. Period. Kind of like how Kodak was when he first came out, but that's not not as
He
hood.
tough, though.
Yeah, he's tough. I give it that. So where we at? We at 3 right now.
Yeah.
Dre, what's your opinion on that? Because it's hard for me not to put
Benny.
Benny. See, I didn't even have him as an honorable mention. Like I
It
listened,
is honorable mention for me.
I
It was.
listened to the album, but it's not. It wasn't.
But at the same time, this
You
year
ain't
they
straight enough
did.
for that album.
I'm not straight enough for the album. Like, I mean, for real, it's hard for me to relate to some of that stuff. I think that's why I don't like
Shit, I
Thugger
can't
as
relate
much
to
as
it.
I do. Like I like some of his like poppy type hit stuff, but I have to have some kind of lyrical value to my music.
Right. And I think, and you know what? I was thinking about
I'm not
the.
saying he's not lyrical.
I was thinking about Thug too, and I was like, well, Josh might not get down with this. That's just not him. Like, I thought that's it. Maybe that's the reason why he don't have this ranked as high or even in his queue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So the Zelda album, if that came out earlier, that might have been on mine, because that jump hard. They got a song with 50 on there. He came back out of the grave.
He said he came back out of the grave.
When you heard a feature from 50 Cent,
That's true.
Shit.
That's very true.
And shit, last 5 years, that was actually good. But
Okay, can we talk about this one? Rapper go to the league because it was in his top 5, and it was on my 10 too.
Man, that was a hard ass album.
Oh.
That was a hard album.
It was alright.
But before we go there,
He reached for a bunch of commercial shit too on there, I think.
nah, that was to me. I don't think it was commercial at all. It was more just straight. It was the more like underground. Like,
It might have been the presentation with the album that took me away
because the
from
whole
it.
LeBron.
It might have been the presentation.
that was commercial.
Because I listened to it and Money in the Way, Rule the World.
Oh, Rule the World was crazy.
Yeah, that's
I love
what.
that.
That's a song with
Ariana Grande.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah.
Then he got Statue of Limitations or whatever. Yeah,
NCAA was real as hell too.
I like it,
Yeah,
but
NCAA
I
was
wish the hook was
raw.
better on that one. That's that like this little shit like that. It was a real cliche for me personally, but I was just like, I guess that's what the song was about. At the end of the day, they NCAA type of reference. So it was just like, all right, whatever. I get it, I guess.
Mama Hit a Lick was hard. Mama Hit a Lick was hard.
Yes.
I ain't even gonna do me just like that today.
What?
Man, I was about to say, coming from the rapper that never was.
The only song on that album I did like.
I'm just saying, like NCAA.
No, it's the first podcast. You taking shots.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Already.
cool, but the NCAA shit was just cliche to me.
You know what I'm
Like
saying? Just like, cause I'm sure you listen to that shit different than we do. So
I do. So it's just like half the shit he be saying is like I done heard this a million times. I don't want to hear it no more. Like I just know certain punchlines is on the way, and just like just certain little shit. Like the NCAA, the hook was very corny. Like NCAA,
Yeah.
Like what the fuck are you? What? Okay, bro. Like for me, that's just like
It was pretty corny.
all right. And then the title is NCAA. Bitch, we ballin'. Of course, what's the NCAA? That's basketball. Like for me, that's what it was, and I was just like, okay, click next.
it would have been. I think what could have helped. He could have did it there, but he could have like broke it down. Like he could have made it an
Just
acronym.
creativity.
Make it an acronym. And
Yeah.
This is something that didn't get mentioned on anybody's thing, and I wanted to bring this up. Woptober 2. Nobody.
I listened to it.
Nobody had.
It was
Gucci,
hard.
Gucci Man on there.
It was cool, but it's Gucci at this point for me.
Yeah, it's just
He dropped so much. It's just
He
like
does drop a lot.
Yeah, he just dropped one on Christmas.
Yeah, he did.
yeah, Santa, East Atlanta Sauce
Atlanta
3 or
Saints,
some
Saints,
shit.
East Atlanta Saints.
Santa.
Hey, but yeah, Wap, he definitely he might be in my top 5 of the decade.
But he definitely in my top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
I
was
top
Wop.
10 for sure. I gotta go back and look at it again.
Wap changed the game to what it is
Yeah,
today,
bro.
bro. If the streaming era was back when he was doing all that shit, bro, that would have been crazy. Like,
I didn't
You
get
gotta
on
think
him
from
until
the
after
start
he got
of
out of prison.
2010 all the way to about 13, dog.
I didn't
He
get on
had
that.
that long of a run over that
And
time.
he put a bunch of
All-
niggas
all
on too,
his
so
shit is
I feel like this
on,
decade was more of a mogul
on
decade for him.
streaming, John.
Yeah.
Because he was in jail for how many years?
A good bit, but hell, it didn't stop nothing. He
It
dropped
didn't-
3 albums in one day.
He came out hitting, but he was putting a lot of niggas on this decade
Oh,
too.
yeah, that's
Like it was a mogul type decade for him.
He was like first time
Migos,
with
WAP,
Thug, too.
OJ. He put a bunch of niggas in the light, bro. Like OJ, all of them. That was like 09 though. That
was just they whole little
that was a
together.
click. And then
Brick Squad shit.
that 10 to 20 though, yeah, you got Thug. He was in that bitch with Zaytov. Like it was a bunch of people he was just low key with.
Walker.
And then all of a sudden, they all top of the Atlanta rappers, honestly, are producers. So it's just like, without Gucci's touch, having them niggas, probably.
Like on a couple of songs, Gucci Kids or whatever, one of the songs. Something.
Yeah, and that's why
He had some collabs with Future too, right?
Who?
Gucci and Future did
Early?
mixtape early, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably
they did.
yeah. I can't think of none right now, but they probably did.
I think so.
So we got these.
Back to the top. Back to that. That's
Yeah.
a good segue. We looking back at everybody's list. Port of Miami 2 was on everybody's list except for one. So we got that on there. So right now we're standing at The Game, Born to Rap, Boogie, Everything's for Sale, Wale, Wow, That's Crazy, and then
Port of Miami 2.
Port of Miami 2 is top 5. That's
I feel like
I say what's the name over there?
Revenge of the Dream. We already got.
No, it's not on.
It's not on it. Well, yeah, Revenge of the Dream is in.
Because Port of Miami 2, I think that'd be at the 6th gate. That'd be at the gate knocking.
Yeah, go ahead, put Revenge of the Dreamers on there. That's
push to the 4, and then if we find another one, just keep sliding it down.
Revenge of the Dreamers. So we're sitting at Revenge of the Dreamers, The Game, Boogie Wale. Right now, Port of Miami is at 5, but that's a consensus 3.
We already got 5?
Yeah, we at 5 now. That's a consensus 3. So I mean, I'm saying
we can knock Port of Miami off. Honestly, we probably.
But it's on everybody's top 10 though. That's how you gonna knock it off if we all agree that that's the top 10 album of the year.
Our favorite album of the year.
Yeah, but then
favorite don't mean it's best.
Ain't in this top 5 of this.
Thug ain't even in this top 5.
And
he had probably one of the top 5 albums.
Yes.
Favorite and best.
Yes. I can't I don't know how to.
I don't have it on there.
Thug definitely need to be in the top 5 with me, man.
Thug.
At the end of the day, bro, it is what it
Thug
is.
shit was
Speak
tough.
for itself.
Okay, so the ones we do agree on, The Game is a given. That's on there. Revenge of the Dreamers, that's a given. That's on there.
Yeah, them 4 are good.
Boogie, that's a given. That's on there. And Wale, that's a given. That's on there. So we're sitting at 5.
With Port of Miami 2.
Port of Miami
2.
So much fun.
That's not a question for
That
me.
ain't no question for me either.
So
Roddy?
you put Roddy. Yeah, that's what
I
I was about
want
to
to,
say.
but it's kind of
I was about to
early.
say
So
it's
I didn't
early
know
for me
niggas
too.
was
So
looking at it like
I couldn't
that.
put him on there because I've only
If we
listened to
taking out the
album.
date, then hell yeah.
I've only listened to the album twice. That's it.
Honestly, we can't say it's early because Wale and what's the name came out at the same time.
Well,
I
ain't stopped listening.
Came out after Thanksgiving.
He means it's early. Like that album just came out 3 weeks ago. Early. That's,
Okay, and The Game came out a week before that.
I'm not. Yeah, but that's not. No, fair enough.
So you
And
get
I mean,
that
I'm
a
still
week.
listening to Roddy 4 weeks after, or however many weeks after, and
Yeah, them beats on that shit is crazy.
It's
All right,
crazy.
so we got it down to Roddy Ricch or Young Thug. Which one? I'm going. If I have a vote on this,
I'm
I'm
going
going Roddy.
Roddy now.
Roddy, that's Roddy.
Just because
What
I've been
you
listening.
got Young Thug or Roddy? You going? I know Tay's going Young
I'm going
Thug.
to, bro, I ain't
Who
got
you
no
got?
choice. That was my number 1 album of this whole year. I can't.
I'm going Roddy.
All right, so that's it. Roddy's in the top 5. Thug.
Thug hanging on the
Bro,
lyrics
Thug
for
is
number
getting.
6.
I cannot
he's-
go. When you can't put
Thug got to get in here, bro.
Thug has to be in that 5.
Well,
I don't
has to be
think
in
it's
that
above.
5.
It's not above anything that's there.
Whoa.
It's not above. It's not
Whoa,
above.
whoa.
5A,
Let me say this.
5B.
Go ahead.
We just had it as 1. I had it as 1. That brother speaks message by itself.
That Thug did some shit.
We both had it as number 1.
I just asked y'all what you thought. Me
I
just
know.
voted Roddy over Thug.
I
Like,
know, but now I'm thinking. I know, but now
I'm not putting that. So much fun was just 1, bro. It was clear cut to me. Clear cut.
I'm sorry, I disagree.
Roddy is my favorite, but Thug need to be on this list.
Thug need to be on
I
that
say it
list.
like that.
I'm not.
For
I'm
me,
just-
Thug needs to be on this list if it's the best albums of 19. Roddy is one of my favorites, and it probably is the best out of 19.
All right, so let's
Thug is going here
let's do-
first.
let's
It's
do this.
sustained longer.
Let's do this. I think we got a way we can appease everybody on here. Since Revenge of the Dreamers is a collab, a group album, we'll remove that from the list. We'll add Young Thug and we'll cap it off with Roddy Ricch. That'll put us at our 5.
And honorable mention to be
I'm fine with
Dreamville.
And-
Honorable mention to be Dreamville.
Honorable mention will be Dreamville. That's
I'm good with
that's
that.
good.
I'm
So
good with
as
that.
as a whole,
somewhere.
we got The Game, Born to Rap, Boogie, Everything's for Sale, Wale, Wow, That's Crazy. And then we got So Much Fun on there, and Roddy Ricch.
Please excuse me for being antisocial.
Yeah, so that's our as
the
a
honorable
as a
mention,
whole
honorable-
as the podcast that never was. That's our consensus top 5
Yes, okay.
for 2019. So
Honorable
a
mention,
good one.
Dreamville, due to the fact that there was multiple artists.
multiple artists, yeah.
And it will be posted on the socials. So.
Please, younger generation, comment because I know y'all love Thug. I love
Yeah.
Thug, so please send it.
Yeah, look, yeah.
Right.
Show us who you stand for.
Exactly.
Literally, for real.
Everything is what? Podcast that never was, except for Twitter. That's pod that never was.
But now the music's out the way. Who watched the Wildcard games? First of all,
First of all, before we get on that,
Oh,
we
yeah.
actually got together on Friday and because we're pre-recording this before the games on Sunday. It's actually Sunday morning right now. Well, Sunday afternoon is somewhere around 12:15. But we got together and made our picks and scores of who we thought was going to win on yesterday, the Wildcard matchups. And so far, Tay's the only person that has a. I mean, if only he could predict that his Cowboys sucked as good as they did.
Mr. Undefeated here.
Yeah, but Dre's going to read off what we actually picked on Friday. So
Yeah, Josh had Bills 24-14. He got that. Well, never mind, he got that wrong.
I got that wrong, yeah.
But yeah, and then Pats 17-14. Got that wrong. And
Definitely
the
got
Pats
that
is
wrong.
finally done. No Super Bowl for y'all.
Thank God I can watch the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I'm actually going to watch Super Bowl. Like it seems like it's going to be enjoyable regardless of who's in
Yeah,
it.
you
And,
finally somebody you ain't seen before.
and it's not the fact that it's.
Lamar getting the ring this year.
I hope you're right. I really
so.
do hope you're
I
right.
said that.
So,
Yeah,
It's gonna be between the black quarterbacks. I feel like him and bruh from the Texans.
Deshaun Watson. You think they're going to make it to the AFC Championship game?
I got a feeling that that's what it's gonna be.
Hey, Dabo told he the Jordan of football.
I
ain't seen the
I ain't seen that
Yeah,
yet.
so
But
I got a
no,
feeling
not
the way he reads
not the
defenses
Jordan
and
of
stuff.
football.
Each
For
game
sure.
is not the same. You can't count that man out the way he
Who they
do
got
that.
next?
you gotta count Pat
They got the
Mahomes.
Chiefs next.
Who they got? Chiefs.
They got Chiefs. And Titans have the Ravens.
They ain't got no. I'm saying they ain't got no crazy pass rush because they line be iffy. They gave up 7 sacks yesterday.
7-7.
Yeah, he was getting hit.
He
So
was.
yeah, they
Well,
got
that's about-
Suggs,
yeah.
old ass,
I mean, and they got great
but
like
Chris Jones. They got D4 traded. They got Frank Clark.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah, they got Frank
Because
Clark.
Laramie Tunsil is one of the best tackles in the league.
Yeah, they traded for him.
So yesterday he was getting his ass whooped by Hughes or whatever
Yeah.
his name is.
Yeah.
55.
Yeah, he was getting work.
Jerry
work
Hughes nice.
yesterday.
Between him and Merciless, those stunts that they were pulling off were ridiculous. And J.J. Watt caused so much disruption yesterday, and I didn't expect
did.
it, especially coming
He
back
did.
off the injury. Because what he said at the end of the game was that he was surprised he got as much play as he did. He didn't expect to get that much burn.
He was effective. For sure.
He was effective for
Yeah,
sure.
he
I mean, he didn't have a lot of. He's just a disruptor. That's one thing he's always been. It wasn't the old J.J. Watt where he was just dominating by himself. But if you got that person that's forcing the quarterback to do things that he wasn't, because Josh Allen looked shook on that second half, especially like
That fourth quarter.
that fourth quarter was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that was all youth, I
Yeah.
think. 'Cause just with
He
time
was-
and
I
him
feel-
actually playing in the playoffs, that'd be something he can learn from. I'm saying this is his first time being there.
Yeah.
'Cause
You-
one of the
you could tell he
craziest
wanted it,
plays
though.
throughout that entire game was Josh had the big run,
And then he
in the
lateraled
fourth, and
the ball
lateraled
back.
the ball back.
Luckily,
I was-
what's name smacked
Smacked
it
it
out
back,
of bounds.
backwards,
It didn't,
backwards.
right.
So I didn't. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those plays like you're either great or you're just trash for doing it. Because if homeboy catches it and he gets another 2 or 3 yards, oh damn, that was smooth. Josh Allen's awareness is so high.
Yeah.
You know, now Josh Allen looks like a dumbass for throwing the ball backwards. I
The
mean,
biggest play to me, far as that one, like when he took that sack at the end, like you got.
oh yeah, you got to throw the ball
Yeah,
away.
throw that
Yeah,
away.
he got was intentional grounding on top
No,
of
not
that.
that one.
That
That was
was
the one.
before.
That was
Some of the
that
last
was
one and 4, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think the next play
Well, they got the ball back again with the chance to,
Yeah, but that got him out of field goal range. I think.
that did get him out of field goal range. So I guess we're talking about this Texans and Bills game. So we're going. I mean, Texans lost. Texans should have lost, in my opinion, but they won in overtime, 22-19. So
Texas actually could have sealed it a while earlier. Bradley Roby probably dropped 2 pick sixes that I seen for sure. He had one earlier that I said.
Where they
okay,
corners
this is Texas.
from?
Huh?
Where they corners from?
who?
Bradley Roby.
Texans.
Roby was
Where
with
did he go to school?
the
Oh,
Bron- was Roby with the Broncos before?
No, we're talking about college.
Oh,
I'm not
college.
sure where
I have
Roby
to
went to
look that
school.
up.
What about Conley?
Gary Collins went to Ohio State, right?
Okay, I was.
Okay,
No, he did. That was a slight. He already knew where he went. Just one Ohio State fan in here is about as annoying as a damn Duke fan. But
DBU, you can't beat us.
They got Hargraves right there too.
that's
Right?
fine.
Yeah, they picked them up off waivers when Tampa cut them.
So I mean, Josh Allen was 20 for 46 for the game with 264, average 4.7. I mean, 5.7 yards. He got sacked a shite load of
Receiving
times.
touchdown.
Yeah, he had a receiving touchdown.
And
That
it
was
was nice.
That was a smooth play.
Yeah. One thing he got, I think he need to change is he big as hell, but he got to stop taking all them damn hits. He pretty much like the white Cam Newton, but
I can say on that
Who
run,
is it?
he looked like a back on that run.
Yeah, I'm saying he take
up.
hits like he don't mind
Josh
giving his
Allen,
body
quarterback
up.
for the Bills.
He big as hell, but that ain't gonna. Yeah, he just got to stop taking some.
It's not a good look either when your quarterback's your leading rusher, and your second leading rusher has 13 carries for 18 yards. 13 carries, 58 yards. The longest run was 18-yard carry. I mean, that's 92 yards for Josh Allen. That's a little bit much.
But let's say this though, Singletary had a really nice game.
Yeah.
He did 6 receptions, 76 yards. That's not bad.
Most of them was kind of like an extension of a run.
He
like
called
swing passes and shit.
He caught everything except for one ball.
Yeah,
That was
he's shifty as hell too, because he made I think Bradley Roby. He gave him a move and put him on his ass.
I can tell you what, that kid Williams 82. I think that was
know
Josh
who he
Allen's
was.
favorite target
Who
because he
was
was
that?
huge. I don't know who he was,
Yeah,
but
but
it seemed like he caught everything that pretty much went his
He was
way.
making
Nah,
some
he
big
didn't.
plays.
He was 4 for 10 on targets. Williams was 4 for 10. I was thinking the same thing, but
But that don't mean he didn't. That ain't mean
I'm not saying he
I
didn't.
mean, yeah.
But that's still.
That don't mean dropping though. You gotta look at the context of the situation. That could have been thrown his way, but just thrown out of bounds.
Right.
So yeah,
That's true.
But
Target
and
was.
you know what? With Buffalo, Buffalo really humiliated my team on Thanksgiving and all. I hate that so much. But I don't know how they made it this far with no number one.
They
never
don't
had
have
a
a
true
true
one.
receiver. That I don't even consider him a
I
number
don't
one.
do you
he's
consider
their number one, but he's not a like. Yeah, he's their number one. I'm saying that's how you got to look at it. I'm saying because if you go like he's not a top 15 in the league, if that's what you want to say, but he's their number one.
so
Because
Buffalo.
you got to look at
And who
everybody
is it again?
with the
John
Eagles. Who's your
Brown
number
is-
one? Greg Ward right now.
Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz.
Well, receiver. He's not a receiver.
Receiver. I can't even say that because Aguilar's playing this game, so I don't even know
Is
if
he?
it's.
I thought he was out.
I gotta double check, but I thought he was playing this game.
Well, okay. Well, yeah, he'll be. That's like far as team to team basis. Like that's they number one.
Do you guys believe in curses? I mean, 95 not being able to get a playoff win since 95. That's a long damn
Maybe
time.
if they had made it since '95, then that might have been
Okay,
different,
maybe so because you got to think back in what was it 2017? The playoff game they had with the Jacksonville Jaguars was the worst playoff game I've ever seen in my life. As far as just like yards, no
Tyrod.
quarterback could have. Yeah, Tyrod and Blake Bortles. Blake Bortles won the game pretty much, but
Is that the year they got beat by the Patriots?
yes, yeah,
They should have won.
right.
Good Lord, Patriots always slide.
It's just hard for me to have pity for a team that's going into the third quarter 16-0 and blow it.
They got beat.
No, I'm saying it's hard for me to have pity for them. Like I understand that they got beat. That's my whole point. I can't feel sorry for you if you blow a 16-0 lead in the fourth quarter. As a professional in the playoffs, I don't care who you are.
I have no
They
pity
scary
for them
though,
because
'cause
they came to Dallas and they literally was taunting us. So I have no pity for the Buffalo Bills. Good season. Sit down with us.
I ain't got no real interest. I'm just a football fan. This honestly probably this weekend probably the first 2 games I've actually watched all the way through. I really don't even I watch college over NFL.
That's hard. I look at college and NFL two totally different
No, you
ways.
got to. I'm saying one a business and one playing to be in a business.
I think both of them are business if you really think of it.
Yeah.
I'm saying but far as the players out there, they ain't like doing that. Unless
I mean,
some,
shit. You
unless
gotta think some of
that's-
them are bad. You're bad shit crazy if you don't think that it ain't a business for someone like, for instance, Tua. I know for a fact that we all know that their family probably couldn't afford to come here from Hawaii, move there. All of them got jobs. All of them have houses. I mean, it's a business aspect. You got to look at it as a business.
Yes, them players. Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about as far as the players on the field, like NFL. Like,
What do you?
they seem like they play for more. Like
But when you're in college, you're playing for yourself. You're your own brand. Like you're betting on yourself every game. If you don't produce, then you don't get selected where you think you should get selected. For the majority of the time, that's how it plays out. If you don't get selected where you need to, because after a certain pick is it? After a certain pick, that max goes down to what you can get as a.
Yeah. Right.
That's why people give people a hard time for not coming out of the draft because that's guaranteed money. I mean, so as a business
for going back to school. Not getting paid.
Yeah, going back to school and not getting paid. Like you don't know where you're gonna get selected. If you're projected top, like I think the Alabama linebacker. I think he should have came out. I mean,
Dylan Moses?
yeah, I think he should have came
He's
out.
still up in the air, though.
I thought
he got
he cleared up and said he coming back.
He coming
Oh,
back.
coming
Yeah, he
back?
said he's coming back. Like, I think that's
wow.
fucking... I mean, he's betting on himself, though. So that's what I'm saying. As a business, I think that's where the business aspect aligns. Like, not as an NFL player, these 1-year contracts was a boom or bust. Like, you betting on yourself, taking a low contract for...
Like
Yeah,
Richard
but
Sherman.
okay,
Richard
Richard
Sherman
Sherman,
did.
yeah.
His contract was.
Not necessarily if it's a contract.
So-
It's a 1-year contract. You don't have to... It's the same
As
concept.
far as college, yeah, you are, because at that point,
I mean,
you don't have to.
can-
You don't have to play for them, because like even with college basketball, they do something they don't like it. They just sit out and don't even. It's like some not even going to college. Now.
Yeah, I
They
can't.
just-
That's a tough comparison. College basketball, and college football.
Yeah, but I'm saying they still going back to play for that university because they want to play.
Because I think here in the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to get to the point where college basketball is going to be so watered down.
It's watered down now. Look at the
Because
top teams.
it's
Nobody can
hard.
stay one. 1 through 5 changes every week.
That's very
Yeah.
true. That's very true.
and it's hard to play for yourself with football. You can do it easily with basketball because it's more of an individual.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, right.
but you got so many out there depending on certain people. What's the name?
So, in your guys' opinion, what do you think happened? Do you think the Bills lost that game, or do you think the Texans won that game? I mean, that's kind of a stupid phrase, but I mean, looking back at it, if you have, like I said, a 16-0 lead going to the third quarter, do you think that as a whole the Bills had it in their hands and they just gave up the GOAT, or do
They
you think
still
that,
had it at the end though.
you think the Texans just...
Yeah, Texans.
I just think the Texans straight won the game. I mean,
because they had to work from
scored
16 down. To,
exactly.
you know what I'm saying? And the Bills still had chances within the end of the game,
At one point, they had 19 unanswered points.
and that was their fault.
That's a lot of
That's
money.
their fault. The Bills' fault. The Texans took advantage. It was just like we ain't gonna lay down, basically. You know what I'm saying? So Texans won the game. I feel like before the Bills lost it, even if it was 16-0. Like it's 16-0. Yeah, we got a chance to lose it, but it ain't like they was doing dumb shit or like, you know what I'm saying. It wasn't like they was still trying to get more than 16 at that point. Texans just, all right, let's get it type shit.
I can say this. I
don't
think
know,
the
man.
Bills play calling is real conservative at times.
Sometimes it is. It is conservative
I
at
think
times.
it's the quarterback.
It's the I think I agree with Drake. But like for instance, you had a 2nd and 10, and you throw a 48-yard bomb
Yeah,
in
he
double
did to the
coverage to your
fullback,
fullback.
to the
Yeah,
fullback.
Like I mean,
I
that's
seen that,
just
yeah.
that's
And I was
like
wondering-
what Drake said. That's inexperience. With time, with age, Josh Allen's gonna get better.
And you could kind of tell he was in that kind of like
Yeah,
that
he was real
inexperience.
antsy.
Yeah, and he
Okay,
was
now,
taking off
let me-
too. He
let
was
me
just
take
very.
you back to this. They don't have a true one. Some of that, I believe, the play calling and stuff is because you don't have the
I'm saying,
athlete
yeah, you
outside
gotta-
that you
You
that
gotta work with what
you
you
don't.
got. But I'm saying that's their number one. I'm saying if he went,
Because Brady don't got one either.
Yeah, I'd say
Edelman
Edelman's
is
the
a
number
one.
one,
I would
like
say
for
he's
sure.
a
I don't
one.
even think that's up for debate. And then he even has a 2. Snooze is
Well,
2.
he don't. Well, I guess he don't have
No,
a
N'Keal
legit
Harry is a
talent as a.
Sanu is a 3.
I probably numbers wise, Sanu's. I mean, N'Keal,
Oh, yeah,
he's
'cause
been
he-
hurt, but I'm just saying, it's numbers wise, Sanu's got more targets than anybody else besides Edelman. So
It probably ain't by a lot.
it's probably not by a lot.
Sanu is a bona fide 3.
Okay, so now we can
We can
talk
transition
about-
into
yeah,
that
we can talk
Titans
about-
and Patriots game. I mean,
Yeah.
the time of possession the Titans had on the Patriots was ridiculous. You think anything of the fact that maybe Belichick actually got outcoached this game, or was it just the fact
Nah,
that
he couldn't stop Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
that's
Hey, I remember on Thursday I told you, I said, hey, Derrick Henry gonna have 175 yards rush.
Yeah, well, 182.
Yeah,
he had 182 average, 5.4 a carry.
Yeah, like that man is
That's-
they one of the teams that with him they just get stronger as the game go on because he just
He
so
wears you
big,
down,
yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
22 carries. I
Well, let-
mean,
Let's look at this.
He can beat you with speed too. at that.
Ryan Tannehill was 8 of 15, 72 yards, a touchdown, interception.
He have to do nothing.
He didn't have to do a thing.
But the thing is, he can though, because they not one dimensional at all.
No.
They more of a run team, but they showed over the last. Well, they had a little stretch at the end, but last couple games. But
The
they
Patriots,
showed they can score.
the thing that I really like about the Patriots, and I don't like the Patriots, but they force you to play their style
Their way,
of football.
yeah.
So, if you're going to beat them, you're going to play a style of football that's not normally conventional to what you do on a week-to-week
But
basis.
they didn't change nothing though. They played they type of shit.
Yeah, they did. They rough. But at the same time, the Patriots can play that same way. Michelle had some good runs.
He did have some good runs.
And I was actually like, whoa, okay,
If-
this is great. You know what I'm saying?
If you look at the stats, I mean, passing wise, the Patriots had 209. The Titans had 71 passing yards. And then you reverse that, go look at the rush. The Titans had 201 and the Patriots had 98. You know, I mean, that's a big gap between the two. Yeah. Basically flip-flopped. I mean, if you total offense, total yards, the Patriots had more yards. They had 307. The Titans only had 272. Total plays, Patriots had more plays on the field. They had 59 compared to 57 by the Titans. I mean, it's total drives. The Patriots had the ball 2 more times than the Titans did. It's crazy to see. It felt like, to me, watching that game, even though the time of possession, I'm looking at the time of possession, the Titans only had the ball for 31 minutes and the Patriots had it for 28. But it felt like, watching that game, it felt like the Titans had the ball 3/4 of that football game. I mean, it's a big gap between the two. So I'm saying,
I figured that.
I'm saying that it's
What?
it's crazy how
we'll talk about it.
it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy how they had the ball as much. It seemed like they had the ball as much at least. And then that goes to the thing. The whole damn broadcast, they kept talking about it being the end of Tom Brady, and that's just it. That's just
an easy narrative to run with.
It is.
It's like, I feel like
you have to create that.
Cheap.
It's cheap. Exactly. That's a good way of phrasing it, because I don't think that he's anywhere close to being done. I think I gotta look at his numbers wise, but it don't seem like the Tom Brady of old. But they don't have as many weapons as they did before. So they do need.
So can I look at it like this? Is his arm the same? Can you? Okay, he
threw 2 plays yesterday that he put the ball on the money and it was down the field. And I'm looking back at myself because I thought he was deteriorating too. And I was like, damn. Yeah. I was like, that looks like old Brady right there. I wish you pushed the ball down the field more, but he don't have people with consistent. Dorsett is one of the fastest receivers in the league, but he has no hands. Like the dude can't catch consistently. He's just fast.
But yeah, he had some shit yesterday. I was like, whoa, Brady did that.
Let's think about this though, right? So separation was an issue for the receivers all season long for some reason. It seemed like they just couldn't create separation.
Yeah, because none of them are true number one, I would say.
Okay.
No.
Even Edelman had times where he looked like he couldn't get no separation. Because I seen it on ESPN the other day. They was just showing like the throws that Brady was making, to separate. At times, do you fault your receivers all the time? Sometimes quarterbacks just don't get it there. Brady, 2019 Brady, to me, isn't the same as 2018. It's like he's regressed. I don't want to put that all on his receivers either. Tom sometimes catches something.
I mean, Tom is undefeated. So
you see what he did with Antonio Brown for the 1 week he had.
In their defense, they were playing the Dolphins. I mean, that's kind of a hard.
In Brady defense, he ain't had nothing all year like that.
He really had.
And the Dolphins got one of the best corners in the league too. So what they got to do with anything?
Yeah, I mean, was he shadowing Antonio Brown the entire game?
I don't know.
I mean, that'll have a whole lot to do with the production level.
They had Minka at the time.
Howard?
Yeah, Howard.
He got a situation too.
Yeah, he might not be in the league no more the way he's doing.
He's good in Dallas. Come on.
But yeah, they keep saying the Dolphins shit, but man, everybody they all NFL players. So.
They pros. Yeah. I don't have I love that. I love that you said that. I don't have no remorse in my heart for pros. Yeah, people say, well, y'all beat the Redskins or y'all beat the Panthers or this and that. Bro, they still pros. Yeah. They got drafted and put in this position for a reason. Yeah. Can we cut that narrative out, please?
It's hard to cut that out because you have like levels of talent that you can't. I mean, you're a professional level of talent. You're a professional level of talent.
You got the teams that ain't supposed to beat you because we professional.
Like
that's from their aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we are professional, but you supposed to be that nigga. Y'all supposed to be them niggas.
Take it this way.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's some people may look at it like that.
That falls on your GM. Mm-hmm. They the one making them picks, right? So he looked at that guy as a professional. That guy was drafted before he was.
I guess you could look at it like that, but it more falls on the scheme and the head coach than it does the GM too. Because you see people that get drafted that are bust or don't produce the way you thought they were going to produce, as if they transition from college and then they go to a completely different team and then they're that man on that team. Like
Minka.
Minka.
Clear
Clear cut.
Made an all-pro team after
turn that defense completely around. One player that nobody thought was going to push them over the top.
Right.
So
he's like a Swiss Army knife.
he is. And he had he forced one turnover every game he played after he got traded. I mean, was it?
Probably.
It was somewhere around there. It was a crazy stat like that. It was bad.
Interception, a couple pick sixes. Like, he made an all-pro offer. I
really think that your GM really makes...
I feel like the GM is who brings the ingredients and the coaches who make the food.
Exactly. Like John Dorsey.
Yeah.
Let's
That's
talk.
pretty much what it is, yeah.
Cleveland...
Yeah, I'm gonna give you what you need to make the...
And whatever you cook is it good or bad?
Whatever.
Yeah,
Cleveland was giving...
Cook it well done.
Freddie Kitchens was pretty much giving a...
He was giving the keys to a Lamborghini.
He got a treasure chest and he was able to take the key and just pretty much bro, you have everything.
Yeah,
what can John Dorsey do now?
Freddie Kitchens jumped in a goddamn Lamborghini and know how to drive that shit.
Basically.
Exactly.
Jumped in a stick and only knew how to drive automatic. You can't change the gears in this bad boy.
That's why his ass sitting on the couch with us.
I don't even see. That's the crazy part about it is I think we were talking about the other day is a culture of an organization. Or earlier today we were talking about a culture of an organization, regardless of who the head coach is or who the GM is. If you have a bad culture or a toxic culture, it's gonna affect the way that the team as a whole goes in produces. I mean, you can have everybody you want to have on paper. You can have all Madden team on paper, but if that culture's toxic, it's not gonna flow the way it's supposed to.
Hence the y'all dream team shit y'all try to pull off that 1 year.
So the predictions for what is it? It's not the wild card no more, is it?
It's still a wild card game. Today's
okay.
wild card game.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Saints and the Vikings, and then you got the Eagles and the Seahawks later on today. I picked the Saints to win big, but it ain't looking like it's gonna happen that way.
Yeah, I also had Kirk Cousins and the Vikings winning low key. But I mean, as the game unfolded, honestly, looked like they might. I don't know. Who knows? It's a 3-point game, but I had the Vikings winning just because the Saints are really the team that's supposed to win if you really look at it. So the underdogs is who I'm going to pull for just because I don't watch these boys that much. And Kirk Cousins been on a little run, low-key, as well as Drew Brees. But we going to see.
Well, earlier I went with a prediction of 28-38 Saints. I'm still going to go Saints.
I'll still go with the Saints. They need their redemption story because they done got shitted 2 years in a row, so...
See how it goes.
Time for them to make it right.
Transitioning to the game later on today. Of course, I'm a diehard Eagles fan, so I got the Eagles winning 21-14. I know Tay's coming with the hate here regardless, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to give my pick, I guess, since he said that. Let's go. I'm going Seahawks 30-24. Fuck the Eagles. They shouldn't be in the playoffs, like I said. They're a depleted-ass team, and thank God for the Cowboys sucking this year because it's the only reason why they're in the playoffs.
I actually respect Dre's opinion, even though I don't like his score for this, but we'll see.
What you mean? But, yeah, gotta stay. I'm going to stay with the black man on this one. Good. Go with Russell. Yeah, I think they're going to smack up on them. I'm saying they got so many injuries, and it's just, I think y'all just got in just because somebody had to at this point. So I think Seattle 30-14, and yeah,
we'll see where we go from there. Demetrius, what you thinking?
I'm sticking with Russ, just because low key he having an MVP season, but you can't really tell because Lamar did what he did, which is my MVP and Super Bowl champion, because I already know they probably gonna win. But yeah, I'm going with the Seahawks just because of Russell Wilson, honestly. And on top of that, when it's time to win, the Seahawks usually do that. So that's what I'm gonna take.
Especially against their opponent today.
Yeah, it's not looking good stat wise. I mean, we're 0-5 the last 5 times we played them, so it's not a good look.
Really?
Yeah, against Pete Carroll, it's not a good look. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, things happen. I mean, we've made it this far. Wentz has actually played very surprising, but this is his first playoff game. So we'll see where
This his first one?
very first one.
As a career?
As a
Yeah,
career. His
right.
rookie season, we didn't make the playoffs. And then
They won.
and then the 2 years after that, it was Nick Foles playing in the playoffs because he got hurt right before the playoffs both times. The time he should have won
I
the
didn't
MVP.
realize that.
Is he
Yes.
worth the money?
Yeah, he's worth the money if he stays healthy. If you look at his numbers, he's produced. He's produced.
Can
So-
he win a big game? Why ain't nobody asking that about Carson Wentz?
He ain't
Everybody
had-
wanna
He
talk
had
to
the chance to win a big game.
I
And,
mean,
and on top of that,
Still, if he loses today, then please
If
let's
he
start,
loses
let's
today,
start this argument.
well, you can
because
start the argument all
Dak
you
Prescott
want.
ain't this and he ain't that.
Dak
but
Prescott
damn, he
has
don't
all
want-
his players.
He
There's a
don't
difference.
want-
There's a difference. There's a difference.
Yeah,
We started 3 tight ends last week. We have our leading receiver as a practice squad
They
receiver.
pros at the end of the day.
Yeah, here we
Not
go.
no
Just back to
excuse
this
today.
pro talk. There's different levels to being
But they
a pro.
pro.
All right, you're a pro regardless. You're right. I mean, we'll see how it plays out. It hasn't been played yet. We'll go from there. So I'm not stressing that one. Up next is this college game, LSU versus Clemson, and I'm going LSU in this one. I don't really have a score. I think it's probably gonna be a 10-point game. I really don't have a vibe in this. If whoever wins, I'm cool either way. But I'd like to see LSU get one. Just kind of throw some more dust in Alabama's face because I hate seeing Alabama win anything. But it is what it is.
Ball for magical season.
Basically, so I think they can keep this thing going for at least 2 or 3 years. But that's we'll see how that goes after the recruiting the next season.
Yeah, Burrow taking that magic with him.
Yeah, he might.
Yeah, it ain't gonna last though, because once he gets to the Bengals, that shit gonna fade away real fast.
That's probably true. That's probably true. Tay, what you thinking in this one?
You know, I'm going LSU. They got the high hand, so I really want to go Clemson because I like Clemson. I like watching ACC teams, even though ACC sucks.
Trash.
But
Oh,
I'm
it
going
is.
LSU. You just got to roll with the high hand on this one. And Joe Burrow, I mean, last game it was offensively he was amazing. So I don't see them pretty much.
Playing it. Nobody expected them to roll Oklahoma the way they rolled them. I mean, people thought they were gonna beat them, but not the way they beat them.
Yeah.
I didn't see that
That's what I
aspect
told
coming.
bitches when they scored in that 53 seconds. I was like, yeah, I'm saying they scored, but Oklahoma can too. But then when they just kept scoring without them coming back with something,
It got
I was
ugly
like,
fast.
shit.
It was pretty bad. It was a pretty bad game to watch.
I got mine. I'm going LSU all the way. Fuck Clemson. They beat my squad. So, yeah, I'm going LSU. Joe Burrow, he a Buckeye at heart. I'm going, let's see, 45 to 30.
Dre's got it in a shootout. There's zero defense in that game, folks. So
That's what I'm looking
we'll
at
see
too,
how it
though.
goes.
This college, I don't ever be expecting defense like that.
So they have
But-
it sometimes, depending on what teams you run up against.
So what you taking, Mitch? What you
I'm
gonna
gonna take Clemson.
taking Clemson. All right, the odd
Just
man
because
out in there.
just because I watched the Ohio State game and bro was doing some crazy shit.
He did. He came back.
Bro was doing some shit quarterback wise.
We lost it everywhere.
Yeah, Ohio State did blow.
Yeah,
that
and
game.
plus
They
I
had
don't
a
know
game
I don't
plan.
know too much about either or, so I just like the way Clemson was playing, and I'm gonna just go with them just because. Again, it seemed like niggas is just counting them out. So, yeah, that's what they call it. Yeah.
Hell, nigga hit him in the chest.
So that's what I'm rolling with.
Same. I feel like that Clemson can pull it off. Won't be surprised if they do pull it off. But like I said, I still got LSU winning this one. I hope they pull that one out just for the season as it stands.
Is you think it's a battle of the offenses, a battle of the defenses, or just a team in general?
It's just
They
I think
both
it's
solid.
Clemson, as far as defenses, they will have the upper hand on
Yeah.
that.
Because they're the number one team in all defensive stats in college football.
Yeah, it was between
Oh,
us.
shit,
It was
okay.
between us and them.
Well, yeah,
Ohio
I'm
State.
a little bit more confident.
But yeah, but that offense, I'm saying, every defense they done been. I mean, every defense that done been thrown at LSU, they done shredded that shit. So I don't think that's gonna be no different. And they got 2 weeks to prepare. So
Yeah, when is that? 13th?
yeah,
Yes,
Monday.
13th, Monday.
I think, yeah,
What
Monday.
time? 8. It
It's
sound like
probably
it'll be like
somewhere
8.
7:38, somewhere around there.
7:38.
It ain't like them. The
Mm.
college
That was a
basketball, they
zip,
start at
boy.
10 o'clock.
Yeah,
Game don't be over till 1 o'clock in the morning.
that's true. As a consensus, we don't think Brady's going to retire. I think they kind of hyped that up in the media, and we were talking about the sucky ass Cowboys, and Taze went on a few soapboxes about them and how bad they suck and how they're always going to suck as an organization. So that basically sums that up.
Basketball talk.
Yeah, we can move to that.
First off, I can't let that man just say how bad of an organization my team is.
That's a pretty bad
Like,
organization.
it's not a bad organization. I mean, come on,
It's not a good
profitable.
organization.
Like, people love to see us. Like, Josh truly is a Cowboys fan because he knows the stats.
That's like football.
Yeah,
Stats
we're gonna keep it there. Dallas, we'll be there next year. It's always next year.
You'll be
guys.
there like you are every other season and play your 16 games, and then
don't worry,
your season will be over with after that.
Your team will be sitting right beside us after the day, so we both.
That's fine. We sitting beside y'all. Y'all didn't make the playoffs.
I don't matter. At the end of the day, you didn't win the whole thing, so
It doesn't matter. We put y'all out of the playoffs. So
it doesn't matter.
Come
Y'all
on.
beat us once.
one
we beat
team
y'all.
did their job, another team didn't. We beat y'all when it mattered. So that's really what matters, right?
Nah, it don't matter because we
Also,
went
it don't
1-1.
matter.
So
We're
let's
1-1.
go there.
You're 1-1
We're
and
1-1 against y'all. When the last time
One of
y'all
us is
beat
at home, one's
the
not.
first time y'all beat us in 2-3 years.
Are you in the playoffs?
It don't matter. Y'all
Did you make the
1-1
playoffs?
against us. Y'all 1-1 against us. Y'all beat a team I guess we
You know
didn't
what?
beat.
You're a very successful team, and if that's your goal,
Yeah, we
to beat the
very
Eagles-
successful.
to beat the
We
Eagles
500. We
once.
ain't under
Yeah,
500.
to beat the Eagles once. That's
We
that's
very
your goal.
successful. A lot of teams
That's
can't
how
even
sad-
get to
that's how
500.
sad as a
Carolina
fan
can't
you
even
are.
skip 500.
That's a
But
sad
you know all
state
the
to be in
stats.
as a fan.
But you know all the Cowboys stats.
I know a
You
lot of
pay
team
attention
stats.
to a lot of Cowboys
I pay
games.
attention to the Browns just as
I
much.
bet every time we on
Or the
TV,
Redskins.
Josh put his TV on the Cowboys.
No,
Do he not?
no.
Boy, that boy love the Cowboys, man. Just like all the rest of the haters. They post memes and do all this. They even got to research our stuff in their phones. I ain't got to do that for the Eagles because I could give a fuck less.
You shouldn't care. You're never where we are. Have you won a Super Bowl in your adult
How
life?
many Super Bowls? How many Super
Have
Bowls
you
do
won
have?
one in your adult
That ain't
life?
even an argument, man. And
I mean,
you know
you
that
were-
ain't no argument.
You were Micah's age last time
That's
you won
not
a
a,
Super
and
Bowl.
it doesn't matter. We still got them.
Okay, and you and the Cowboys.
Y'all got
yeah.
one, right?
That's fine.
One,
That's fine.
right?
I have
Let's
my
keep it. Let's
I've had
keep
my
it that
driver's
way.
license since we won
Let's
a
keep
Super
it
Bowl.
that way. It don't matter. Let's
Damn
keep
near
it that
pushing
way.
30. You ain't won a Super Bowl.
Let's keep it that way.
Okay.
Story franchise. It ain't the Eagles. It's the Dallas Cowboys.
It can be. It is what it is.
Come on.
Story. Unsuccessful franchise in this decade is in the past decade is
Hey, man. Look. Let's go back and look at the record.
You can look at the record.
Let's go back and look at
Look at
it.
the record. That's fine.
But with the NBA, you got the Trailblazers. They're not looking too good. You got the 76ers looking discombobulated. But not like winning wise. They just as a team don't look too well together just because of the simple fact that their offense is limited from what they say from a couple 76er players. Not that I know them, but we done seen reports. So you got that. You also got trade rumors too. We got Kuzma just opened up today for the Lakers. They just opened up talks about him. And I don't know. I don't want to think it has anything to do with the training situation. Do y'all think that? Of any
No.
sort, his trainer would have anything to do with this?
When I seen that, that's the first
That's the
thing
first thing
I
I
said.
said. He gone.
I said he gone. Exactly.
That's the first
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, because it's kind of hard to. And then on top of that, his tweet was his tweet about call a spade a spade.
Yeah. And then
And-
try to pop up on
yeah.
LeBron the next day. Like,
Yeah, like the media didn't see that and catch that, and as you scroll and you see that, you know what I mean, you did that. So I do feel like low key it's a part of the situation a little bit, but at the same time they really do need another piece, and he not is he doing what he was supposed to be doing this year?
I don't know.
In a
Kuzma
sense.
was never that dude to me anyway. He was just, he could score.
Because I think they would want him to elevate this year a little bit, and this kind of, I mean, it could be hard though with two of the top players in the league on your team, and you just got to fit in and score just like them in a sense to help them. So it could be hard. I don't know, but I just feel like that training situation got a lot to do with him now being on the trade blocks. So, but the Lakers, they looking at Darren Collison and DJ Augustine.
I like that Collison pickup.
I like
If he
Collison.
comes
Yeah,
out
the
of
Collison
retirement,
pickup. I'm
it's
looking
gonna
at
be bad.
that. That's smooth.
That's kind of they're kind of clogged up at point guard though if they do that. I mean, it depends on where you put
The Lakers.
Yeah, but I mean, you've been having Braun on point most
They
of the
got
time. That's
Rondo.
one reason I say that. Like this, you take Braun off the point then because you got Rondo coming off the bench.
Another ball handler.
Yeah, that's another ball handler, true. But you got Rondo coming off the bench, Avery Bradley coming off the bench.
Not a point though.
He's been playing the point a lot this year. Not saying that he should be, but
And that'll
especially when Rondo got
I'm saying
hurt.
that's probably because they need.
Yeah,
somebody
that'll
like
move
Collison.
him to his
Yeah,
designated
true.
position.
Maybe that's true. He's small.
Cause he a
for two
defender
guard.
to me.
Yeah, he's a good
Period.
defender.
He's a
but he
defender.
yeah.
That's not. I don't think it's a bad pickup. I think it's a good fit.
Because the way they was
They
talking
need
about
somebody.
it, I don't know what's the name. They thought like that was a dire need for the Lakers.
Yeah, they need somebody that can get a bucket, but also just can handle the ball for the time being when LeBron want to chill or be on the wing
Put some
or
more speed on the court.
yeah, that nigga. Yeah, he got some speed too, and he got more offense than Rondo.
That's a lot more.
You know what I mean? Even just because Rondo don't shoot a lot, not even whatever his bag may consist of, it's just he gonna get a bucket when he need to get a bucket. Rondo ain't worried about that in a sense. So, I mean, I feel like it's definitely gonna help them a lot. The DJ Augustine, I think that's the replacement if they don't get Collison. I don't see DJ Augustine. I don't know.
I ain't gonna lie, Augustine
has he
did
been
stay
hooping?
in that first playoff game
He
against
been
the
hooping?
Raptors last year.
I'm saying, he for what he'd be asked to do, he'd be good.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Quinn Cook has lived up to what they thought he was
Yeah,
going to be.
he's
So I
just
think
there.
that's
He's
I
just
think
there.
that's the reason they probably need somebody because of that addition. Not
What
pinning
about
down so
Caldwell Pope? Is that gonna do anything with bruh? You
far.
think?
I think they low key love him.
They got
kept him
to,
this
bro.
long, man.
They got
just
to.
love him.
At this point, I mean, he not bad, but I don't know what his specialty or his desired need is for the Lakers exactly. Because I mean, from what I see, he don't be doing too much, but who knows? I don't know.
True, doing some of that, but the prime subject of this whole thing for basketball is Melo and his impact with the Trailblazers right now. Dude's balling out compared to what we thought he would coming back off of that layoff that he had and the way he went out.
Yeah, the Melo resurrection.
Melo is not this selfish guy. Once again, like I always say on social media, like, hey, where did this perception come from? I get where it came from, but like this guy's actually showing that he loves the game of basketball. Yeah. He's not that selfish. He's playing his part, doing his role. 17 points a game, 6 rebounds. Yeah. He's actually playing aggressive, like
45% shooting.
He's been a veteran leader, a part of a pretty decent. I mean, what could be a decent team right now, 8th in the West. But Melo will always be my guy, regardless of what he goes to. I just did not like the fact that he was shunned out of places just because this perception that he was just a selfish guy and didn't care about winning, just cared about getting buckets.
Yep.
Yeah, but it'll be more to judge once trade deadline and all of that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of shakeups. I think. I don't think any more than any other year, but it's definitely gonna be a lot of shakeups. So, see how that goes.
Yeah, but Portland in general, they just looking real discombobulated. They should not be 8th in the West, tied with the Spurs. Even though the Spurs, they playing through pop, they never gonna be horrible. But it's still the Blazers, and they posted that added somebody in Melo and elevated their game a little bit this year to be in a little better situation, seeing what they did last year.
Yeah, I think that's coming to an end too, because DeMar DeRozan and them just ain't getting it done.
Yeah, I don't think he ever hit that
Lonnie
superstar
Walker,
peak either.
Lonnie Walker ain't.
So it didn't really pan
hitting
out.
his stride.
Has he played?
Sparingly, I think. And then they got old boy from what's his name? Dude from Kentucky. The one I forget his name, but he was a first round pick. He was supposed to be that dude.
Trey Love?
Nah. No. He was the first round pick this year. Keldon, something with a K. But
last name Johnson.
Yeah. I think that's him. Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, that'll be more in depth once football over. Cause
Yeah, for sure. Because I definitely don't get into the NBA until after football season. Not saying that it don't matter right now, but it's hard to get into the NBA.
I mean, it's hard too.
Before
It's
the
hard,
All-Star break, it's hard to get into.
Yeah,
the
it's
NBA
hard to
like
make the
that.
NBA matter so early, because we all know they playing the same. They playing with that. Some of them playing with that same mindset of we just got to get going, get shit together. Then playoff come, we be straight. So we'll see what happens with all of that. But that's just the buzz around the NBA right now and what's going on for the most part. Okay, so now that we done got sports out the way, music out the way, what do y'all think in today's generation, not younger generation, but just in general, as a society, culture, whatever, the top 4 to 5 things maybe in a relationship that you need?
Trust gonna be.
Yeah.
Trust in a relationship, yeah, for real. Just
Obviously, I think loyalty over anything, which is it's trust, but in a sense, just being loyal, knowing even if they don't trust you, you still have to be loyal to not do shit. Because if I know you don't trust me, I could just start doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Just because, okay, you don't trust me anyway. Hell, you know, some people may think like that.
That's a bad way to look at it.
Some people may think like that though. Like you got ain't shit relationships out there. Like, oh, they don't trust me and shit. Some people become disloyal because of that, or they disloyal just in general and expect someone not to be disloyal to them. So loyalty, you have to have that agreement. I feel like, but as an individual, to be loyal to that person, you don't have to be. That's a choice. So loyalty, I feel like, is one.
I don't know, man. Just keys of a relationship. There's so many things.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like you can. It's too broad. Don't feel like you can get like a top 5 out of that. Just in general, respecting the other person. You gotta respect the other person's feelings. What they like, take it. You may not have to agree with it, but you respect what they have to say. The fact that they are willing to say it to you and truly voice how they feel in the inside, and you being able to do that with them in the same token. Just as a whole in a relationship, if you don't have respect for the other person, and that falls back onto a lot of things. It's a lot of things in a relationship you can have, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Trust, loyalty, communication, honesty, respect. That's just off the top. But
yeah.
And out of them, I'm gonna take out of those, I'm gonna take trust, loyalty, respect, communication.
Yeah.
That's what I would take. But
communication, I think, the biggest.
Yeah.
To me, like, I ain't always the best, but I swear that can alleviate a lot of the bullshit that happen in a relationship when you got communication on both sides. And if y'all open and honest about it, like, you can communicate but still not be honest. But honesty coming with communication, it'll take out a lot of the doubts and just the assumptions you got with anything that's going on.
Honestly, in a relationship, you gotta say how you feel.
Yeah.
You can't never just like hold it in, because holding it in creates a problem.
Just
if you really don't rock with something, really say it then and there. Don't just prolong it and just keep letting the same situations happen over and over and over and over till it meets a boiling point, and it just tears apart what you guys have together. So
there's certain ways to say things. It's just how you present the message. Back to what Dre was saying, it's all about your presentation. Yeah. If you say things a certain, like I always say, you can say things 5 different ways, cursing somebody out some of the ways, being super polite some of the ways. You mean the same thing at the end of the day. It's just how you present whatever topic or subject or feeling that you're going through at that time to the other person that you're in a relationship with. You just have to do it in a way that you know that they're going to accept it in an appropriate way at the time, because there's a right and wrong way to say everything. It's just on you to know when is the right and wrong way to say it and how to say it and your tone and all that stuff.
That's got to be my biggest thing as far as learning to be better with is tone, delivery, when and when not to say stuff, like to either continue it or just leave it where it's at, like just to know the limit, like, because I get in my own way a lot, so just doing that will help. Just knowing yourself more, and knowing when and when not to do that.
Yeah. On that, it's just really, I feel like that part is just you got to know how to communicate from your own perspective too. Like, what you allow is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
From any female, male, any standpoint, what you allow is what's gonna happen. Period. So if you don't speak up about what you don't like, they don't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally, if you thinking it all day, they are not in your brain. So it's like you gotta literally voice it and communicate, because once you communicate, you can then say, I tried.
Yeah, I don't know
You know what I mean?
why women think we got a tendency to read minds, but they rather just thinking and think we're supposed to know the shit without them telling us. But I don't think it worked like that. But
I think that goes both ways sometimes. I don't think it's
fuck
just.
it.
I don't think it's just a.
But it comes from people thinking that people think like
Yeah.
them. Like
Yeah.
you
That's
can't
what-
assume everybody think like them.
Sometimes you
And
expect
that's
somebody
just
to
a
have
broad
common sense.
human thing. Yeah.
But still, I'd rather ask a question than assume.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
That take it back to being respectful.
Yeah,
You know
that
what
just
I'm saying?
take away all the thoughts and all the
Take away everything
Just,
that you
yeah.
have to sit with yourself with. You know what I'm saying? Like,
question that just ask.
Right.
simple. And what I tell you, even if you like, you can, if you don't believe it, I don't know what else to do at that point.
Yeah.
If I'm telling you the whole truth, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you the whole truth. Therefore, and you don't believe it, it's nothing I can take from that.
And sometimes they ask already they asking with already knowing in their mind that they not gonna believe you, or
Yeah.
all right, I'm gonna just ask, see what you say. But regardless of if you telling me the truth or not, I'm not regardless.
My
I'm
mind
gonna be
is set.
thinking you a lie. Yeah, like
Yeah.
so.
That's back on. That's an insecurity thing. It's
You think
more
so?
of a- Yeah, if you already having a predetermined answer on something, unless you're just giving the person the opportunity to be honest with you when you already know the answer,
Yeah.
then that just falls back on the insecurity. Like, you wanna, even if they're being 100% truthful with you,
It's still my way.
You want
Yeah.
them to
Yeah.
fail in that aspect of the relationship, regardless. So I mean, that's something that person has to work on in themselves.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like with the whole jealousy thing. When we talked about that as a group of friends, we just talked about that a few times, about how jealousy has been the downfall of relationships, as far as, especially with social media, Facebook, Instagram. I mean, Twitter has been the death of a few relationships, so people say, but it's more the people.
Hey,
Snapchat probably.
Snapchat
Oh,
too.
Twitter,
Yeah.
Twitter has died down.
Yeah,
Back
Twitter
in
ain't
the
like
day,
Yeah, I'm saying
whoa,
back
Titty
in-
Tuesdays and
Yeah, it's-
Yeah, they had the after dark. They had a bunch of shit
Yeah,
back
after
in the
dark,
day
I
on
remember
Twitter.
that.
They had a lot of stuff. When the
shit-
hashtag phase was in, they had
that shit
everything.
Hey, what was that word
Turn the
people used to
porn
be
after
talking to
10
each
o'clock.
other through the timeline, though?
To a
The
subtweet.
subtweeting.
Subtweet.
Yeah.
I call myself subtweeting a few times in my life.
What you mean? Oh, talking about
Everybody
like throwing
just-
shots.
We're just saying, like,
Just
somebody would
tweeting.
tweet something, you respond without adding them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
subtweeting in general. So yeah, I mean, just it's
All of those taking effect.
it's all that. But at the end of the day, if the person don't love themselves, like you, I mean, you can't expect to truly love somebody else if you don't love yourself. Like, it's not going to get you anywhere in your relationship.
Yeah.
We I guess just as far as guys too, we have a hard time expressing our feelings when it comes to certain things in a certain way.
Facts. Big
Just
facts.
just our emotions in general. Like, guys in general don't like to get down to like that soft side of themselves.
Right.
For on an everyday basis, I don't have a problem saying I said something or shit, even crying about something when I get mad, instead of taking my emotions out in a different way. But
Yeah.
not everybody's there, so
Yeah, that's just something. That's just depending on the person you talking to too. It's just as far as being comfortable with that person, and then more comfortable. Most time, more comfortable you are, the more you willing to let out or like to be vulnerable with that person.
for sure.
But if you ain't got if you're not comfortable, then that shit ain't gonna work like you think it should, or like you want it to. Even if you trying to get it out, it might not come out just because of the person you trying to get it out to. You just gotta take that right person.
Yeah.
That's something, and we talked about earlier about how we base our relationships off of what we seen as children, like our parents, or how a lot of people do that. They see like that if they see an unhealthy relationship, not to say everybody that's listening or all of our parents' relationships were unhealthy. If you see that tendency or something, you take that as the norm. I mean, that's kind of how you start your relationships off of, like, just from the beginning in high school going forward. Like, you kind of mirror your parents, and if you think yelling at somebody because they did something wrong is okay, or you think cussing somebody out is
Your
okay,
childhood
that's
kind of normalized with a lot
Yeah.
of things.
It
So
does.
That's all. Like that's who you look at to like your guidance, your
That's like-
superhero
yeah,
type person.
right.
Like, so whatever they do, you just, I'm saying that's your parents, so you gonna be looking at them like they can do no wrong. So at the end of the day, like once you looking at them and whatever they putting out there, you just sponge it at a young age. So you just gonna take all that in, and it's gonna be up to you as you get older to fix whatever damage was done, because that's a lot of shit.
It's a lot of
Black
habit.
people really like
Yeah.
just. And end of the day, always run in the family, or that's what so and so did. That's what
Generational curse.
Yeah, like you gotta take it upon yourself to break that and be a difference and stop that. Stop be the change, and all that generational shit will go out the window because you changing it for the next generation. And it ain't gonna ever change if everybody keep doing the same stuff.
But I've over time I've learned that generational curses are more easier. Like it's easier for you to keep going down the same path than it is to just stop and say I'm just gonna change this.
Comfort.
It would take the comfort of it, because like me in particular, like I think that I went down a generational path where like having a lot of women or messing with a lot of women, that was cool. That's just what was taught.
Yeah.
So that way I've always looked at it like, okay, if I got 3 or 4 girls, you know what I'm saying, that I can hit at a random time,
I'm chilling.
I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Like that,
I'm
that's
content.
fine.
I'm content. Yeah.
Yes. And it took years, decades for me to understand that, hey, this ain't cool, bro.
It's a decade.
It really did. Like, it took pretty much 2 decades for me to understand that, like, hold up, man. Maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. Like, maybe I am hindering myself as a person, and I'm also hurting people in this process.
And that comes back to Dre saying comfort. Like once you get too comfortable, you fight every reason to leave that state.
Yeah, because
Like it's once you get to that point, it's like I'm good, bro, because of this. I'm good because of this. Instead of I should change because of this, or this is looking the same, and I'm mad at myself for 2 weeks now and ain't changing shit about my habits. And then I'm mad at who? Everybody else, trying to take it out on everybody else when it's just me being too comfortable, not changing. So that's just, like you were saying, just comfort, definitely.
Being submissive to change, because you have to change over time in order to grow.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is, like, come on now. We all know right from wrong, but we always want to dibble on the wrong side a little bit.
2
just
plus
because,
2 is 4.
you know what I'm
3
saying?
plus 1 is 4.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just new ways of life and living may be easier for you once you find that out. But if you don't shoot that shot, you're gonna just still be in that same stagnant box of doing it your way, not knowing that it's other ways that could be better for you, and then you could just tie your own thing to it. So relationship wise, it's just like watching your partner may be an eye-opening thing. Just because, like, in general, you can just see how, okay, she do that different than I do it. But if we help each other, we can get this done, period, faster, better. It'll be just better for both of us in the way we going about the situation. But most people don't do that. They either get too comfortable and just start blowing stuff off, even including a relationship, or it's not comfortable and it's just always uptight. It's always closed off, and that's sometimes, I guess, the male standpoint. We just kind of always toughy and trying to, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, we ain't really trying to talk until it's damn near, I'm leaving you. Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a question for the group then. Since we really didn't talk about this earlier, and everybody talks about, the things to build a relationship. What was the worst thing that you've done in a relationship that you could look back and say, I wish I would have did that different?
I mean, hell, that's a hard one. I mean, I've really only been in one major relationship in my entire life, like major, I can say. But I'd probably say the one thing is not taking the time out to show the other person the attention that they need. Like, just worried about myself. As a young man, I guess I was just worried about everybody else. Everybody else but me, not really. At the end of the day, I was worried about me. I kept saying I was, trying to keep up with the Joneses, hanging out with my friends, shit, we weren't together chasing girls, but that's all me things. I was selfish at the end of the day. So being selfish is probably the number one thing I wish, because I could have learned a lot of lessons earlier in life if I wasn't so selfish. I was thinking about like I was saying, I say it to my brother all the time. Like, you think about kids nowadays think about, and I probably was the same way. You think about short term instead of long term. You think about the end of the week instead of the end of the next 10 years, like where you can find yourself or where you should be later on. Like, set yourself up for progression instead of just this short term win that you're getting yourself, because that's all you're getting is a short term win. You're not getting anywhere past next week, and then next week you got to find something different in yourself, or use your like advantages or relationship with somebody else to get some kind of benefit out of, like, kind of using the person. Just getting what you want, like having your cake and eating it too, right. in that sense. So,
funny you say that, because men, man, like, we want that. That's just embedded in, in us in general. But I asked that question because, everybody always talks about the good things that happen and things that need to happen within a relationship, but the bad is the reason why we even having a relationship. I mean, the conversation.
The bad is what we grow from.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And that's what's going to shape who we be with next.
Right.
If you willing to,
and that's why
take the steps to do that.
And that's why I always be like, I mean, maybe they wasn't for you. Maybe you think you hate them, but they taught you how to love whoever was next.
So because they didn't. Some people just they take that negative energy and they carry it over into the next relationship, saying that they want something new, they want a fresh start. Well, you're not really getting a fresh start.
If you
it's just like it's common sense. If I go outside and I hold a light pole, I can't expect to move forward or backwards. I'm holding on to that same light pole that I was holding on to before. I can't walk down the street because I'm holding on to the same stuff. The same arguments, the same kind of things. You find those patterns and you bring it into the next relationship, and that kind of falls back onto even with our parents, like things we seem to argue about or how they talk to each other. Like, you carry that stuff over too.
And we thought that was cool because at the time we were in just being legit. Like, oh, okay, I guess that's just.
You gotta let that stuff go and not drag it on. I mean, you can't expect anything new if you're doing the same old stuff, Cowboys. But we're going
just. Touching on that, just probably more what Josh said, just being selfish and thinking that stuff that being selfish pretty much, like,
it's not
thinking stuff that I needed was really what I needed. It was more of a want instead of a need. Like, I didn't need that. It was just something that I wanted to do, and it was more just something to brush up, like, pretty much say, I did it, or just being young and dumb, like, just, and going off of, like, being young, like my dad used to say, like, shit, he tell, you better have fun, like, you young to go do it, like, do you whatever type shit, like, so it was even in high school, like, me and some people, no names, what they are gonna just be like, we had like competitions of who can have the most girls at the same time, like shit like that, like just like I'm saying we was in high school, so I guess it was more acceptable at the time, but like just thinking of that, like that was like the thing to do, like that was like, oh yeah, that like we was really like tallying up, like all right, like
body counts and shit.
It wasn't necessarily even that. It was just like
just talking in general.
Just, like, I'm talking to this person.
Like the episode on the wood. I mean, not episode, but the scene in the wood where they went to the dance and it was like, I bet you can't get whoever get the most numbers tonight get $1. Type shit.
Like that right there. That's my bad thing. Is perception to the eye.
Yeah.
Perception to the eye, pretty much like you want to be seen as the guy, as that man.
That's how social media I mean, not social media, but just media in general, like movies, TV shows. The dude with all the ladies was that was the dude. That's what you wanted to be like. He was a cool kid in school.
Exactly. And for years, I'm gonna tell you, I love my grandma to death, man. And it's funny that we're talking about this now because on Thanksgiving, she even said the same thing to me. She said, "Well, you young, go have fun, do what you want to do." Hey, I'm telling you, that really stuck with me. I was like, I'm young, I can just do what I want to do, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm to the point to where it's like,
it matters.
Hold up, bro.
These decisions are costing, literally.
This is literally something that I can't listen to now. That just
mistakes
are growth.
Get more expensive. The older you get, and everybody start to see that as they grow. Like, whatever it is. They just, even if it's not a cash expense, it's still like you lost that
Time.
person. Yeah, that time, that person, like you, that's expensive to whoever you created for this long. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes time overrated to me though. Like far as just like,
I believe that.
like
For me personally, yeah.
it's just some people you could have a bond with that you've been like you could just have you could get a bond closer to somebody just like off of just I guess
Just
more
vibing.
relatability like of a person you've known way longer.
Right.
Like if somebody can relate more to you or understand you, then it's like
And maybe
time is just
yeah.
I'm saying it's a big thing, especially like after a certain amount, but then again, like
But what if that person you just met was just like you? Like it don't take that much time to know. Like, oh, they just like me. This shit gonna be kind of smooth. Like, and that might just be how it is. And people, they try to put like a mental thing on who they're gonna be with. Like you don't know.
No,
They
yeah.
not here yet, and if they are, you don't know. Like you chasing it, so you never gonna. It's never gonna get to you. You
chasing
keep
it,
posting. I
definitely
can't find the
gonna
right. All y'all ain't. You know, and it's just like that. That never is gonna get them there because
All those people are the same people that date the same type of person. just
Yeah.
in another
because
body.
if you keep forcing that shit,
Like,
it's
you-
never
that's-
gonna come.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like that's one of those things you don't want. You don't want that change. That change is scary to you. So you keep going back to the same thing in a different person, like that has the same characteristics as the same person that you dated before, you're in a relationship with before, and you expect different results. I mean, they might speak a little bit different. There might be different things that they do, but at the end of the day, it's the same person as a whole. So why would you expect anything different? Like you keep on keeping on,
and yeah, at the end of the day, you keep posting about it. So that's another all of those fall into the same thing. You keep doing the same actions, literally.
A lot
each
of
one
that
of
shit
them.
be for sympathy.
It does.
And it does.
Like, you want
And
somebody
then you'll
to
see
come
them-
Yeah, or you just want some far as sympathy and just want
nigga to-
agreements on the topic you talking about.
But
Because it's like-minded people out there that you putting into the audience that you know what you're gonna get from what you putting out.
you need weak-minded people that won't put your ass in check for putting it out there. In the
Yeah,
first
they gonna
place.
just come comment up under it. It'll
Basically.
come, baby. The
Right,
right one
but
is on the way.
What people need to tell people is that you really don't have to chase. It'll come to you naturally.
That's
I ain't
yeah.
never been one to just go out here and say, well, I'm just going to try to go hit that girl because I'm be up on. No, I always believed in it happened naturally.
Yeah.
Like, anytime I've been in with it, like with a girl or me and her done saying, well, we dating, I just always said, well, you know what? We'll just feel it natural. We won't have to go out here and just say that we dating. Over time, yes, we're going to be dating. I don't have to just go out here and say, yo, I'm in a relationship with so-and-so, blah, blah, blah.
They want you to check the box in front of 7 billion.
Exactly.
Like, bro,
If-
it's okay.
If
we rocking.
we rocking. Yeah,
They
we
gonna
know what's
see you.
going on.
They gonna see you.
Exactly. Then you can be okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you tell people, oh, you know me, I'm talking, we rocking like that, da da da. But let us be us. Let it just flow between us.
Cause that be the disappointments. But go ahead.
But so they need that public
Perception that
they just need that acceptance from the public or social media, whatever they garner their validation from.
that'll be all it is.
That people look at that like sometimes in relationships they look for that. Is this okay? Is this the person I should be dating? What do you?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's okay like as a friends thing, like to ask your friend what do you think about
Bring
another
them around
person,
me.
but like do that like you don't even have to ask the question. You can kind of tell by the way your friends react around them how they mesh or gel together. Whether because normally if you're close friends, that's what I'm talking about, bringing that person around. If they're not getting along with the person, then they're just going to put bad bugs in your ear regardless. And that you don't really need that negativity in your relationship.
Yeah.
But
And then it could be just what that person going through at the time. That might not even be nothing that the partner or whoever doing to them. It just might be what they dealing with, and they just don't want to see somebody else happy because
That bitterness.
that ain't really your friend.
Because your
for
single
sure.
friends cannot help you with a relationship.
Some of them can.
They can,
some of them
but to
can.
an extent, you and that person is the only people that ever experienced that relationship.
Right.
They can give advice,
Right.
Yeah. That's help. So it means to an extent
Is it help though? And I take that advice and it still
it
go
is help. It's like
downhill?
your own opinion. That's what I was just saying earlier. Like
You choose to take that though.
you do, but you should listen to everybody's opinion, even though if you don't agree with it. Like
I'm gonna listen to
I respect
everything.
everyone's opinion on certain things. I may not agree with you at the end of the day, but I respect the fact that you at least said what you had to say. I know where you stand. I know what your opinion is, and that's on me to take what you said and apply it to my own life if that's what I choose to do. I don't have to apply it to my life. I don't have to apply it to my relationship. But I feel like to a certain extent you can get help. That's just, it's the same thing with talking to a therapist.
Like, I think that's the best route to go. You know,
I say, I guess I can stand on what I'm saying because action has to come behind whatever advice you get.
Yeah. Right.
Action. I don't care if he told you to leave. If you don't leave, he didn't help you because you didn't listen.
Exactly.
If you listened and it still didn't work out, he helped. He gave you advice, but you can't blame him.
Right.
Because you had to do that action and take it from there and nurture that.
Exactly.
So it's like, that's what I mean when I say that. Like, 10 people can give me advice and I can go down and listen, try each of them. They're going to work differently than how that person said it.
Exactly.
Because of me and this person.
And
then
you ain't dealing with the same person.
And the thing is with me, like, I always look at what's done happen bad with me as far as relationships. And anybody
I
that
still
come
got
up
to
to
answer
me
your
and talk to
question,
me.
too. I still got to answer your question.
Anybody that I talk to and I tell them, hey, look at what I'm going through. Don't go through that same thing. Yeah. You got to take things from people that you can.
Yeah, this man number 7, Hill for the Saints, is getting off right now.
He really is.
And we are in the midst of it live, so
that's why that whole little pause.
So y'all know how it is.
Yeah, broke off with a little 20-yard run.
Because most of y'all probably watching it too.
So anyways,
but you got to take things from other people's relationships on how they talk to you and be like, well, if that person come up and tell you like, hey, don't look at it this way, look at it this way. Or go the other route with it, because you never know, that person honestly might could have went through the same thing you had.
That's ball game.
Drew Brees just fumbled the ball with 4 minutes left, and you hear Josh say that's the ball game, but I'm not counting Drew Brees out.
4 minutes.
You got 3 people in here just treating Brees like Brady because last night Brady went down, so somebody got to stand tall.
All right,
back to the relationship. Do you guys think that there's a certain point that people like fall in their relationship that it's time to leave every single time? Or like for instance, you have that point where even though you might leave for a little bit, you can come back and the relationship could be stronger because you learned something from the past time you guys got together. I mean, there plenty of relationships have been through little minor breakups, so where like you broke up and you talking to other people, you realize that this ain't really what you want. You had what you wanted from the beginning, so you going back to that because that's just one of them things, like just with chasing women back, like in high school, college, whatever it may be, you got those short term instead of that long term. Mm-hmm. So I mean, like you live and learn from your experiences.
Yeah, and with the short term, long term, you gotta think. I feel like we just have to learn how to think backwards, in the sense of at the end of the day, if I get caught, the only person going down is me. These females that I'm fucking with, they don't give a damn about my relationship, and they ain't gonna give a damn about me after I get left. Right. So even if I say, yo, I'm single, I can't look forward to anything I was doing because y'all were purposely short term because I know I couldn't be with y'all in this aspect. Right. So it could be like, niggas got to start thinking like it's not worth it. Just due to the fact that at the end of the day, if all of this fails, I'm alone. Literally lost what I had and lost what I thought I was getting at the time. Yeah. Just standing there like, damn. And now you got to go back, regain that trust, re-go through all of them. Like, it's a lot of stuff that are just debacle at that point. So if niggas, like if people in general would just think backwards in the sense of what's going to happen if I do this and keep that locked in. But to answer your question about the thing that probably ruined me the most in past relationships type, probably just being, I mean, I can say selfish, but at the same time, manipulation. Just because, like, I don't know about other niggas, but it's just like, me personally, I love to know how people think. I love to know how people think and just in general. So it's like, I can easily perceive something different, and most males can, for a female to think some different shit. It's just like, you acting like you like me, but you really don't. So it's like, the perception and the manipulation of the mind is just like, oh, okay, you fucking with her. but you're really not. And she really think you are just because of the actions that you know to put in place to get that to happen. So I guess I would say manipulation. But yeah, I learned that a long time ago. That don't work no better than just being straight up honest and telling them straight up, like, look, this is all I want. This is all we need to do. And that's it. So either way it goes, it's going to go downhill. And that's kind of how I learned it. But so that would be my downfall, is manipulation.
The main key in a relationship, though, is really don't let outsiders in. Don't let them, their decisions of what they think or what they see between you two tear y'all apart.
Yeah.
Because the outside influences, man, can really, y'all can have something really good. You might be going through something at a time where it's like you think it's the hardest thing. Like, I don't know if we're going to make it through this. But as long as you always got each other at the end of the day,
yes,
you can pretty much make it through
you're
anything.
going to.
That's why I said that
You're
the
going
person
to.
you're in a relationship with needs to be your best friend too, because you got to be able to talk about other things
Yes.
besides relationship stuff, and try to like be able to see where you're coming from, you know, as a life standpoint, just not just in your relationship, just your views and your values and your goals in life. Because just like everything, like I don't think the way I thought last year. I mean, I'm not saying I try to be better than what I was last year and grow. Like that growth as a person has to come in, and you got to be able to talk with the significant other about that communication and and just those values. We just watched a strip.
He was down.
Took it to the house. He was down.
You think he was down?
He was down, bro.
Hey, but if he wasn't, that's another buck eye for y'all.
But yeah,
Them niggas everywhere at this point. Shit.
Well,
Go
Josh
ahead.
rooting for one later.
Go
yeah,
ahead.
I will be rooting for one later. That's my favorite
Yeah,
book of all time.
easy. That's coming back.
Anyways, but yeah, you have to be that person's best friend. You have to be able to talk to that person about stuff besides your relationship. You have to be able to fall back on that person when it comes down to it, as far as just a friendship wise. Because I mean, like we've said before, like all that infatuation stuff, it goes away, man. Stuff fades over time. Nothing is always going to stay the way it was, and you got to be able to change and adapt and
Nurture it.
be better at being a husband or a wife or a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. Just try to make yourself better every day, just as a person.
And it's different every
It's
single
different every day, for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Nurturing that shit to the fullest.
but
Accountability too is a big one.
yeah, accountability. You got to hold your own end.
Yes,
That's for sure.
that might be. Yeah, that's a huge one. Because if you can't look in the mirror or just look at her and be like, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Oh
Then
yeah,
it's never gonna. It's
like holding ownership to something. Like
yeah, accountability.
It's hard to it's holding ownership to something. It's hard to just say you're wrong sometimes to admit it. Like not a lot of people like backtracking, especially when you get heated, like into a heated debate. And you done said all this, and then going back is make yourself seem like a complete jackass by saying, "All right, man, I was wrong from the beginning. I'm sorry. I should never did that." Like those emotions that I made you go through because I was wrong from the beginning. Those emotions I went through, not even thinking about it, like just I try to think about some stuff before I say it, but I have a quick tongue, so it's not like I can.
And that comes from like how we was brought up, and just little stuff like that. Like we
My dad
thinking we
is just-
always like, nah, that's wrong because I ain't grow up knowing that. Like, so why you doing that? Like it just come up like that.
I can tell you one thing that's a little, that changes the relationship a lot is when you throw kids in the aspect. Most relationships, everything's good and peachy when you don't have that kid aspect in the relationship.
Yeah.
But once you have one and you throw that in there, everything changes. It's not the emotions of a woman and everything, like what you're going to go through, how you're thinking, and it changes dramatically. Like, even from my stance of just what I've went through, what I've been going through anyway, is the fact that you have to stay level-headed whenever you're coming into a relationship.
No emotional responses.
Yeah, none whatsoever. Don't throw that shot out there, that
No
little bit of
emotional
pettiness,
shit.
or just keep everything 100.
Yeah.
We gotta both make proper decisions on everything. You get what I'm saying? Like, but the kid aspect of a relationship, it changes. I don't care who it is. Because one day y'all not gonna agree on how something goes. Or y'all not gonna agree on, well, I want Mike over here to go this way, but you want me to go this way. So how we gonna come to the middle on this right here?
Compromise.
You gotta compromise with each other. You throw a kid into any situation, and trust me, that's gonna test you to where just if you gonna see if you really want to be with that person, or if you don't. But are you gonna sit there in order for your child, and then that plays with your happiness? So, what aspect are you gonna take on that?
That sounds like one of those things where you gotta worry about. I guess you do have to worry about that. Like I don't have to worry about that in general for one, but I guess from outside looking in on that aspect of it, I get what you're saying. You have to look at the child, the long term of the child. You can't just think about yourself, and that's probably hard all in itself. Try not to be, because if you look at yourself, you're being selfish. Because whatever action you take is going to be reflected upon on the child. So like I can't really speak on that one. But
like when you have it and you go through it, and you know, like a lot of people come and they ask me like, bro, how do you adapt to this, or how do you do this? Because me and my girl, I'm being up and down. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it goes through. You have a baby mama. Y'all that might be your girlfriend. Y'all split. Blase. It's tough to look at the relationship aspect of all this because you have to put that child in there. You don't want to.
I think we talked about this at one point in time, me and you, just about like thinking about what happens if you do leave your significant other. Like, you gotta look at it, even if something else might be a better situation or look like it's a better situation, just for that child's aspect, you have to at least try to mend your relationship with the person that you're with, because you know you may have grew up without father and mother in the same household, and you don't want your kid to go through that same experience. So just for their sake, you have to think about them. Like that's what it falls back onto. Exactly. But you were gonna say something a second ago.
Bro, that shit way past me.
It's all good. Go ahead, Meek.
I really can't speak too much on it, but I just feel like maybe it's hard because when you look at the child, you probably remember everything that come with it, like the memories with that person, the time spent with that person. And it's kind of hard to look at that and be like, I'm walking away from this. So in a sense, it may be hard for people in that aspect, just because that kid is really everything you guys. That y'all made that literally. So it's just like everything that you've been through since day one to now. Even if it was a long time or a short time, that's what you got. So do we stay and build that, or do we, you know what I'm saying? You don't know.
You know what this makes me think of? Like, you see a lot of like relationships, or I've seen a lot of relationships with kids or people we went to school with, and their parents divorced like right after they get out of high school. They just stayed in the relationship because of the child. Right. They didn't want them to see that dysfunction. Right. And then as soon as they graduate or they get out of the house, go to college, boom, it's over with. Because, I mean, I don't have anything attaching me to you anymore, because what we had together has already grown, spread its wings, and it flew away. Exactly. So that's just one of those things. But I don't really – it's an experience thing, because you can't really say that if you would have left that person in the first place – your child might have seen something more healthy in the next person you were with. So that's just one of those things. It's like a hit or miss thing.
And that right there, it causes generational curses. Yeah. If you stay there,
that's what you teach happy,
your kid is going to see that. Yeah. So he's going to see the fights. He going to see the arguments over nothing. Yeah. That's creating a stigma in his head, right?
And he's very, very young, so they keep all of that, even though you don't think it.
Do you feel like a person fails as a parent if they let their child experience things like that?
Yes. In my opinion, I think that you shouldn't let your child see that. You shouldn't put that in their heart or in their head for them to feel that. Because emotionally, bro, it's one of the toughest things in the world to get into an argument with somebody that you supposedly love in front of another person, a little person that's growing and in that developmental stage with their brain.
And they love both of y'all as much as equals, and they think y'all love each other that much more because y'all made me, and it's just like, so it's just like,
So that child then has to pick a side. In some type of case, you know, he got to be like.
Eventually, he's gonna even if this is the babysitting, every time they venture off with the babysitting. If he's with mama, it might be a little bit more towards mama's side.
Right.
Then with daddy, he might not say something mom said because he ain't want daddy. Like, I feel what you're saying.
And then you gotta watch what you say about your significant other while you're not around them, around the kid.
Exactly.
Because like I seen that a lot with my little brother's circumstance. My dad and his mom, they honestly probably said things. Not saying that either one of them are bad parents. I'm just saying they probably said things that they shouldn't have said around him, especially because he's absorbing all that, and that's what he's seeing as a relationship wise. And that's just something you shouldn't have to build up into a person. Like, let them form their own opinions instead of having an opinion based off of what they've seen while they were a kid. Like, they should know what a healthy relationship looks like, and they should be able to build their own healthy relationship with their significant other based off of their parents, and instead of or even if they're mature enough to see what their parents made mistakes on, which most aren't at first. So, because like we were talking about earlier, you normally make the same mistakes your parents made because that's what you seen you grew up in. So you got to try to avoid all those snares and traps and stuff like that.
Just to kind of hit on this, like, that's why I believe the stigma of, going into a relationship and we really don't know exactly how to develop a healthy relationship is because of what I just said, pretty much. Like, our parents just stayed there together with each other.
And that's what we know.
And that's what we know. My whole thing in my life, period, bro. Like, my dad and my mom split whenever I was 6. So I always was like, hold up. My dad, like, I'm looking at my dad like this nigga. He was just like a nigga. Like, he just was. Not to say all niggas is bad,
but that's how you felt, though. That's how you felt.
That stigma was in my head, though. Yeah. People hearing this and hearing that,
that's all you got to go off.
Something here for me, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, cool, maybe, you know what I'm saying? What I'm hearing from this side, that's right, because I'm always with this side. So
and I feel bad going against this side that's raising me.
Exactly. My developmental process is to accept what this person said and not accept what they saying.
They either gonna do that or they're gonna
put you in front of them.
Disdain for both parents. They end up hating both parents. They don't know how to express their emotions towards their parents. They box everything in because they see when their parents try to express their emotions to each other, they see arguments and fights, and they see negativity instead of being able to be free and open with what they have to say in the inside. That's really detrimental. Like, that's one of the things that I always see. My dad, me and my wife, we argue like cats and dogs, but she's seen that stuff with her mom and her dad, and I seen that stuff with my dad and his relationships, like arguments over petty things that shouldn't be argued about, things that you should just be able to say something to a person. That should be the end of the day. Or things you don't even have to say. Just fix the problem and move forward, because life's too short to be complaining or bitching about some of the stuff that we bitch about, like the minor things. Like, damn, we got bigger things to worry about. Like, we got a mortgage now. Yeah. We got, car payments, phone bill. If you have kids, you got another mouth to feed. Like, we can't be stuck
worried
on all
about
the
what
petty
we
bullshit.
Like, what you want to eat, it don't matter.
We
not about to go back and forth with this bullshit.
If it ain't gonna matter tomorrow, don't worry about it today.
Exactly, bro. If I can pin that down, put that down, quote it, bro. That's it.
And I take it after 3 days. If it's not gonna bother me, then I shouldn't worry about it now. That's how I be looking at it. If 3 days from now, am I gonna care?
Exactly.
It's hard to think about some of these things in the moment, though. Just for instance, like not wanting to argue in front of your child. Like, if somebody says something to you, normally you're gonna want to say a response right back. Your emotions take over. You can't be like, "Hey man, let's talk about this later," while he's not around or she's not around. Or
that's the hardest thing to do, because you want to get what you got to say out.
Hold on, say what? At that time, you like, nah, I'm saying what I got to say because it's me and I got to say this.
Yeah,
but. You gotta find a lane to where you just whoa, hold on. We'll talk. But the thing is about this whole thing that's why you really need to be like how Josh said. That needs to be your best friend because you need to know that person from. They need to tell you something about their childhood when they was little and seeing their parents come up together, because people get placed in toxic situations and toxic relationships based off a lot of things that happen at that young age. It's already in your head, so that's what you know.
And you wonder, like, why you acting like this? I ain't did nothing of that nature to cause that reaction. But I've done seen all of this happen, so I know what's coming with this from my past. But it's like, no, that's not me. But I can't say that's not me because that's what you've seen for so long. So you think it's me because you only know the next step from what you've seen.
Exactly.
So if your pops or if your friends or whatever was doing dirt or doing this and that, and I do something that they did, you gonna think, okay, he just like that. So I already know what to expect. And it's just like, nah, that's not me. But if you learned all of that generational stuff and learned all of the wrong things, it's like that's the only thing they have to go off of. So, yeah,
It's just one of those things you gotta try to
nurture.
Yeah, that's a perfect way of putting it. You just grow. It's like you gotta grow up with that person. Like for instance, Josh at 28, I hope I don't think about life the same way I do when I'm 38. You know, I hope I'm 10 times the man that I was. You know, that's what I say to my brother all the time, like, or anybody that I really care about. Like, I want you to be a better person than I was. It's probably the same way with you know, just you and me, or damn you and Rail. Like, you want them not to make the same mistakes you made, or you seen your parents make, because you want them to be better than you. Like, if my little brother who's 16 now, if he ends up being 10 times the man I ever was, I'm okay with that, because I don't want you to make the same mistakes. Like, you try to set the you know, these children up for like a better future than you. Like, that's
especially being like all of us are older brothers, so well, 3 of us, but yeah. Well, yeah, everybody.
Yeah, I'm like,
I'm sure. Well, yeah. So like, yeah. So you always want to, especially when they're younger, like before they can really, I guess, make their own decisions. You always want to do the right thing and do this and do that, because you know they watching, so you don't want them to do something, because you just, even though it might not be wrong, but you just don't want them to do it as far as the perception they bring. So as being, you always just want to instill anything you can just to just want better for them.
just better than the youth is definitely something, because maybe if they stop doing something, that maybe that's how you end some kind of generational curse, as you would say. Like you gotta start somewhere. So I'm hoping my brother does. I know he's gonna make a lot of mistakes I made, but I'm hoping he don't make, you know, the major ones. Like, I want him to be able to express his feelings now, because holding all that stuff up in the inside isn't okay. And that's something you should be able to do with your significant other in a relationship. Like, I go back to that. Like, I should be able to sit down and talk to you about how I feel, and you just listen to every single word I have to say and not respond. Or if I want you to respond, I ask you your opinion on what I just said. Like, am I wrong for feeling this way? Is it okay? You know, have that person to vent to instead of holding that stuff up, pinning it up in the inside. Because a lot of people don't say their feelings, especially in a relationship. They let stuff build. Like, you let all the little stuff build, like the ticky-tack stuff.
And
then when you bring it up,
I don't give a fuck to talk about it.
And then when you bring it up, you blow up, because you've already compiled all these little things in the inside instead of venting them out to the other person.
That could have been.
And it's all about how you, like, we can say stuff in a nice way. Like, learn how the other person receives your messages, as, you know, what you say.
That the other day.
And if you can say something to a person a certain way, and you know they take it and they absorb what you say. But, like, I can say something to you in a certain way, and I can say it in a rude tone, or I can say it, like, too direct, and you might shut me off completely and not hear what I have to say because I said it to you in the wrong way. Like, you got to learn the other person. Right. That's, if you don't learn that in a relationship, you're dead.
You're dead.
You're
dead before you even walk. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to crawl. So you gotta learn that. Like I said, you gotta learn.
You
that
gotta be on the
same
same page throughout everything.
Understanding is huge.
It is.
Understanding that person. Not even with, like, the best friend shit. Like, even if you maybe per se not the best friend, like, best friends with that person, like, understanding that person will go a long way, and just knowing what they would want or whatever, that type of situation. But understanding communication.
Communication is major.
Yeah. It's key. It is key.
I mean,
and learning to compromise.
Like, you're learning to compromise. Like, yeah, compromise will get you a long way in a relationship. It'll also let you grow as a person too, because you don't always, you get out of your comfortability zone when you compromise two things, because compromisation, I can't really say that fucking word, but that, it brings change. So when you compromise, you're changing because you're doing something opposite of what you would normally do in a situation. So it's just one of those things. I mean, we can sit here and talk about relationships forever, and we plan on definitely bringing this back in the next podcast, hopefully, going on. But we kind of want to hear what you guys and girls have to say, especially you girls. Any questions you have for us as far as relationship wise, what we can do better in relationships, like what you think your significant other does. You know, you might have a question about what they do and you don't understand why they do it. Just, you know, DM us, you know, send a message, make comment.
We're going to leave you anonymous, of course.
Yeah. And these are just our own opinions from, you know, our life experiences. So just take it for a grain of salt if you want to. I mean, it's just, we're all separate.
But I do want to leave everyone with a question of, how do you think relationships have changed today? So,
feedback is key.
Yeah,
please,
for sure.
Comment, subscribe, everything.
Share.
Like, share, tell your auntie, sister, cousin, brother, friend down the street, neighbor. Let them hear this podcast, man, because we really trying to put some things out there and give you a different perspective on things from four guys that are really good friends, but we all live different lives. So please share, comment, hit those DMs, man. I can't say that enough.
So if you need to, you can reach us at our socials. We got the Instagram and Twitter handle as Pod That Never Was. And of course, you can come join us on the Facebook community page titled The Podcast That Never Was. And we also got dope content coming for YouTube. Stay tuned. So everybody out there, be safe, love somebody, and stay true to oneself.
Long.Live.Gidney.
Come back.
So, we appreciate the listen. Of course, that's going to be the end of the episode. Now, if you got anything you want to get off your chest, comments, opinions, whatever that may be, hit us on the socials. We'll be there for you. But I do want you to just act like Dr. Dre and Snoop. Stay tuned for the next episode.